are now live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's another episode of Venture Maidens. Oh my god. And today we are 27 years old. 27. Wow, we hot. We fly. We ready. This is going to be a really big episode because this is going to be the finale of our first arc of the Favor campaign. So, how's everybody feeling? Are we ready to get into like full ass finale
I can't
mode?
believe we're already here.
I
It feels
know.
like we just started.
Right?
It does, but it's been a year,
But it's
hasn't
been a
it?
year,
Since
yeah.
Wow.
So
That's
that's about
wild.
right. I mean, we've got a lot of episodes
Wow.
behind us. We're level
Oh,
5, you know?
oh God. I am so happy to be at level 5, by the way.
Yeah,
Level 1 was
that
rough.
was rough. And I really deeply appreciated the very sexy fight we had at level 5 a couple episodes ago. So I'm feeling much more confident. We're 25% of the way through all the levels that exist in
Yes.
D&D, and 25% of the way through our story. So hell yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, shit, let's do it. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, if you're new, odd time to jump in, but welcome. We are the Venture Maidens. We are a D&D 5th edition actual play stream that converts to a podcast. We do it all here. This is a very adult themed stream, so you can expect standard themes of graphic fantasy violence, that sort of thing. We keep a general body horror content warning up. We also have some other content warnings for this episode. It has been a very dark delve these last couple of episodes, so we're giving additional warnings for grief, references of harm to children, self-harm, and psychological horror. Did I miss any, Sage? We've got a few. I think that's the list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Graphic
That
fantasy,
sounds right.
violence, body horror, psychological horror, references to harm to children, grief, and self-harm. Yeah,
So it's
I think
gonna
we
be a
covered
good
them all.
time, basically. It's gonna be a real good
Real
time.
lighthearted romp.
Real lighthearted romp. But hell yeah, let's do it. Let's dive in. Hey everybody, my name is Celeste Konowich, and tonight I will be your dungeon master.
Hello, I'm Katie, and I'm replaying Laviri Sath, your very worried drow rogue.
Concerned.
Hello, I'm Nassim. I'm playing your half-orc fighter, Vitonia Silvertail.
And I'm Sage, and tonight I will be your bombastic bard, Aoife Flannery.
Woo! Woo! So yeah, let's jump in. I'm gonna warn everybody right now. This is a finale episode for this arc, so this is definitely going to be a longer than normal episode. So for those of you watching on stream, you maybe fill up that coffee, fill up that caffeine cup, and buckle up, babies, because here we go. But before we dive in, of course, we have to give that sweet recap of what happened last time on Venture Maidens. It was a lot.
Yes.
What's up? What's up, gang?
Okay, so I believe last when we started actually exploring this castle.
Yeah, you saw like the first room you stepped into
Yeah.
Castle Dread.
Yeah, so we walk in, and this place is just there's like sheets of paper basically like almost snowing down with like all this frantic writing on them. And we see this kind of like in shambles sort of once beautiful castle. And we first inspected this like kind of like stand kind of where you'd imagine like thrones would be, where we found a pedestal where the book we assume would fit. We also found the 5 notches in the side because we ended up having to look for 5 pages to complete this book. We didn't really find much there other than figuring out that's where the book was meant to be, but we did end up then going to this like cemetery to the side where we saw like this big what's the word for the big
Mausoleum.
mausoleum?
Yeah.
Thank you. That had like this girl statue of this girl there, and inside we found coffin for Gwen, which we didn't let her see. Lou used her ghost abilities to kind of check in with all the spirits in the area and see if she could speak to the spirit of Gwen, who she assumed was in this grave, but she was not. And instead, there's just all this angry, raw emotion chatter going all over the place of all these spirits in this building. and she wasn't able to fully speak to anyone there, but kind of like push back and let them know that there's nobody in the coffin before they head upstairs, where we ran into like a maid who was cleaning this hallway. And nobody else could see her except for Lou, so she looked like hella crazy. She was just like speaking to the air in front of this picture that this woman was dusting. And she had spoken about how, you know, the what she referred her to as the mistress or something like that.
Yeah, the mistress.
The mistress was, in another one of her moods, and she wasn't about, and everything like that. And just basically that she had been spending a lot of time with the thing or whatever, this contraption.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was pretty much what we got from her before we entered this immaculate little girl's room.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody wants to take the baton.
Sharing,
So
caring.
Pass.
Thankfully, because of Lou getting in touch with the spirit world and harnessing her ghost powers has been very helpful as we've been traversing through this castle, being able to speak with all the many spirit denizens. And so after we went through the child's room, we found, which was completely clean. We went and we found the master bedroom, which had the ghost of a servant who is like perpetually cleaning up these broken shards of a mirror within the room. And Lou had a moment. It was definitely tough. And so as Lou was speaking to the servant and suggested to Aoife that Aoife mend this broken mirror, and as we are hoping that maybe sort of fixing these things of helping to try and bring these ghosts out of their perpetual loops in hell that they're kind of trapped in. But alas, it did not do anything. And after Aoife had fixed the mirror and had seen the visage of the shadow lady within it, and was reeled back and was terrified of it, and Lou, honing into the sorrow and depth of this place, ended up having just a real explosive fit and shot the shards of glass, broke them, and shot them at Aoife, who was then suddenly bleeding from her face. And a fight almost broke out with Rook about to tear into poor Lou. But thankfully, Tony was able to keep them apart, hold them together while Aoife mended her face. And then poor Gwen is seeing that we are clearly much more than just mere human monster hunters, and was already deeply struggling with the fact of nothing makes sense. If Penny is the champion, and she's, why would she need to fight against the Shadow Lady? And who's did the Shadow Lady take over? And whose castle is this really? And trying to make sense of all
Why
these.
this Gwen? Why does this little ghost girl look like her? Exactly like her, and all this weird.
So she's been having a real rough go of it.
Real
but
hard
Aoife
time.
had been real hard time. Aoife's been able to sort of, I don't want to say placate her, but calm her down and be like, look, we're here to discover things. We'll learn things as we keep exploring. Maybe we'll find something that makes sense. And just everything kind of came to a head when see that we're all so much more than what we say and have led her to believe. But we managed to pick ourselves up, come back together, and keep exploring. And the servant in the master bedroom had given us one of the pages saying that, you must have dropped this. And so we went back to inspect, and indeed, as we've recovered more of these pages of the Enigma Codex, the tick marks on the lectern have dropped. And so we're like, okay, so clearly we're onto the right track. We only need a couple more. That was when we went through the double doors, which led into, first we found the room for the contraption before the big dining hall.
Dining room first.
Dining room, that's right. Dining room was first.
The dining hall, yeah.
That's right. So we went to the dining hall, and from the fireplace in the dining hall began to explode out with fire, and Aoife used her her own fey powers from her monstrous nature in order to turn the smoke into a rain cloud, and used calm forth a summer storm in order to quench the fire, which behind the tapestry that had caught flames of Gwendolyn, behind it was concealed another page. And then we had one off from here to find the room with the contraption, which was padlocked, the only room that we have found so far that was behind a locked door. And we found this Frankensteinian contraption in which we had basically learned later that Penny had used this to split herself into 3 different aspects of herself in order to have a more normal relationship with her daughter, because being an archfey and having this basically uncontrollable power made it hard to connect with people because of the nature of her power that she has.
Yeah. See, oh yeah, a lot is happening, and we're not even done. Nassim, do you want to bring us home for the rest of that, or? No, the notes get weak after. There's a long episode.
Yeah, I pretty much, we saw the contraption, the machine that she built, and didn't we see also some sort of like ghostly scene replay of Gwen trying to stop Penny from doing anything with it, and she wouldn't open the door, and that's literally where it stops.
Yeah.
Other than I wrote down, she wants us to kill her, please.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the final room, which was a whole fucking thing in itself. So the whole last room, what happened?
So we went upstairs to the 3rd floor, where we had seen the room where the story had been read to us in our dream memory scene, where we had seen this raven-haired lady sitting in this rocking chair with this huge book reading to child versions of us. And we found the room at the top of one of these towers within the castle, and we found this scholarly looking woman, this woman who we had seen in our dreams, aged and tired and haggard and exhausted, and all of the room was covered in writing of arcane sigils and equations of trying to clearly figure out whatever is, obsessively trying to figure out the problem at hand for her. And she gave us a bit of a breakdown of her situation in a very frantic,
manic
manner.
That's what I remember.
With the chalk. And basically what she had done of splitting herself apart into these different facets in order to try and have this more normal existence, but in doing so has just made a terrible mess for herself, and is trying to figure out the solution to fix it. And we are the first group of adventurers to ever make it this far.
Which implies, oh boy, there have been others.
And at the end of it, she had written on the chalkboard, "Kill me, please." And we're like, oh God, oh Jesus,
oh God,
that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, good, great, yeah, a lot happened. We crammed a lot into a 2-hour episode last time, so awesome, great recap. Yeah, so that is where we are picking up today. Last time we had left you had basically spent all of last episode winding through Castle Dread, which is almost like this mausoleum of memories to what happened to Penny and what has caused her to be trapped in her own domain inside this weird world that she's built for herself. So from room to room you had gone, you'd learned a little bit about her. You know that she had a changeling daughter named Gwen, is part of this story, but it's a little unclear what happened to her. And then you know that there was this machine that Penny built, that she used the Enigma Codex to find and build this machine, and she did, but it didn't work as intended, and something happened, and now she's fractured. She's appearing in all these different ways to you. You've met now several versions of Penny, and one calls herself Gwen, which was the name of the daughter, and it's all a lot. And it was a lot in that very last scene of that episode where you had come up to that final room, that study, and encountered this woman that you've been seeing in your dreams, this version of Penny, who had been reading you this storybook. And in those last moments, she had gone through everything. And now she is across from you as she has just finished her manic note writing across this board where she had told you this story in fragmented pieces. And now she just puts down that chalk, that piece of chalk she had been writing with on the very edge as she had written those final words, "Kill me, please." She puts it down, and she had sat down on this stool across from you all, or crammed on this, like, dusty, broken down sofa in the middle of this dilapidated study. And she had said, "Well, after a short break, I would be happy to answer any questions." And she had just kind of paused and folded in on herself. And she's looking, her eyes are open, but she is very, very far away, it seems, as you all are kind of sitting there in what I imagine might be stunned silence, having just listened to this and seeing this mess on the chalkboard in front of you.
And this is in our dreamy, childlike state?
Nope. This is all of you.
Oh.
Real people here sitting in this room but the study is an imitation, or, well, it's close to what you have been seeing over the last few pieces, right? This woman, she's clearly the woman, the black hair, but it's now, like, streaked with gray, and those, like, green eyes that were so beautiful and enticing seem dull and sad, and even her fine clothing is ruined and dusty, like she's just been here for so long. So you're in that place. This whole place is familiar, but it's decayed. It's different.
Lou is gonna kind of like guide her, like light hand on the back, hand on her elbow to like the chair that she had been sitting in when she read us the story, and to help her sit down for a moment.
Yeah, she like kind of is startled, like, as you touch her, right? And she like comes back to where she is and nods and lets you kind of escort her over to this chair. And as you move her, she just seems so frail. It's like it's hard for her to walk, and she feels like nothing as she slumps down into this chair.
Okay. We have a lot of questions. You might need a little break. We think we should discuss before we figure out what exactly it is that we want to come to you with and ask. But give us just a moment. We'll be right here.
She nods, far away.
Lou just kind of like does like awkward, I don't know what to do, flutter hands, and gives her a little pat on the shoulder, and kind of looks back and then skitters back over to the rest of the squad.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, so she's unwell. Not really what I remember, or whatever this is. Where do we begin with that? And she just looks over at this like insane like chalkboard of stuff that she's written. She's like, I don't know how to fix this for her, let alone us. So I guess we can start with where things kind of went wrong with the machine and see if she can help us figure out how to use it to maybe reverse things, and how to even get a hold of the Lady of Shadows. And she kind of looks over at Gwen awkwardly, and she's like, maybe you should have a sit down too, sweetie.
Yeah, Gwen kind of, she, at the end of last time, she had positioned herself on a chair because she just, after seeing everything, all of your monstrous transformations and seeing herself, and again, Gwen looks like a young, identical version of this woman who is like browbeaten, sitting in this chair. And so Gwen is staring at this woman, just honestly in total shell shock at this point. Like, Gwen has experienced so much in such a short amount of time. You're not even sure if she's, like, listening to you. She just keeps staring at this woman. And so when you talk to her directly, she snaps out of it and looks up, and this is all... It's too much. I don't understand any of this. Who is she? Why does she... And she said we're the same, and I don't... Why would anyone say that? She's looking at the board. It doesn't kill me, please. She's like, why?
Is Penny still holding the book she was reading?
No, she does not appear to have a book in her hands. That book she was reading from is actually nowhere to be seen in this room. The one you saw in your dreams.
Mm-hmm. Great. I was hoping to just like take the book and run.
Oh, if only. Oh, if only.
We win. We do need one more page of the book too, so finding that, if she has any idea where that is, that would be... I mean, almost, I think we should start there. I feel like maybe if we have the book, it will open a lot of other doors for us to look into.
Perhaps literally and metaphysically.
Yeah. Luge's eyes just go back to the crazy board, and she's like, Gwen, I don't honestly know what to tell you right now, other than we're here to help you. And I know that we might be scary, but our intentions are pure. And we're going to do whatever we can to make sense of this for you.
Okay. I mean, we're too far now, right? This isn't gonna go away. So I might as well just...
It's less that we're this far in and more that we're so close to finding an answer. So it's not that there's no return, it's that we've almost won. Okay? And she just kind of like takes out a hanky from her bag and dabs it underneath her eyes.
I think something is... I'm afraid. And I don't know why.
I'd be afraid too. It's only fair. Some scary shit. This lady looks like you. This castle is awful. But you're not alone. If I could give you any sort of consolation. I'm scared too.
I can't imagine what it's like to suddenly learn that your whole life is... everything that you've known is a fiction. She kind of... Aoife looks off to the side, sort of out the window.
Okay. Yeah, let's just figure out what to do next.
Lou looks like she's like gonna go in to like hug her, and then just kind of was like, okay. The page
Right.
will help us. Um, I'll go ask about it. That will be helpful here. And she'll go back over to older Gwen. What are we calling her? Librarian?
You can call her. You can call her Penny.
Penny. Okay. Uh, and she'll kneel down next to her and once again kind of like softly try to snap her out of it by putting her hand on hers.
Yes.
Penny, you wouldn't happen to have a golden page? We're trying to complete a book to hopefully get some more clarity here, and we're missing one.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you were listening to all that, but if you take that page, you'll see her. The lady. That's how you get to her. You put the pages together and then you see her, and she is the reason for all of this. She's the one who did it. She's the one who did it. It wasn't me. And it certainly wasn't her. And she looks over at Gwen. If you see her, she will kill you. She has taken so much. She will take you too.
Well, we're going to try to avoid that, but you all were. Please don't laugh at that. And she goes really deadpan. We're good at what we do. Okay, we're monster hunters here, but we trust in each other, and we've formed this group that I think can do just about anything as long as we go in prepared and we rely on each other. So if we have this page and before we combine anything, we get as much information as we can and we formulate a plan, I really do think that we can do this because we are going to be prepared and we have all boxes checked. We're a good team. So you just have to have some faith. And I know that it's hard, but as you said, we're the only ones who have gotten this far. That's got to count for something.
Yes. Yes, and you are monster hunters. Yes. That feels about right.
So once we do get this page and we do feel ready to combine them all and to summon her here, I know that she's a horrible monster, as you said, but is there some way using that machine that kind of started all of this insanity to...
No, she destroyed the machine. It's like she knew there was no return from this. So when you face her, and she gets really, really close to you and like really wide eyes and whispers, "We will all die when she dies. And I think that's for the best. But don't tell her." And she like grabs your wrist really, really, really tight when she says her. Her eyes flick over to Gwen. Don't you tell her.
I don't know how I would even deliver that news, so don't worry about it.
This isn't a life, you know, here, like this, locked away, mourning our daughter. This is no life.
What happened to her?
The Shadow Lady. Anyway, if you wish to confront her, that is why I am here. I am here to help. So she waves a hand towards this like set of bookshelves. It's mostly destroyed, but you can see a couple of books still haphazardly across its, you know, broken shelves. And she waves a hand. The page should be in there. Once you put them on the lectern, you will see the stairs. And you can confront her. Us. Her.
Okay, well, let me discuss with my team. We want to make sure that we make the best decision here.
I'm sorry, by the way, that you got caught up in all of this. We never meant. It doesn't matter.
You don't need to be sorry to us. We decided to come here. We knew it wasn't going to be a piece of cake. So just, I don't know. We're going to do our best for you and for Gwen.
Gwen. And she smiles a little at hearing that name.
Maybe you want to talk to her?
Her? Gwen is dead.
No, I know. But I think that she might be with you guys a little bit. Some aspect of her. I mean, look at this Gwen.
I don't know why she picked that name. Though I guess maybe that is why. To keep a little piece alive.
Lou's like tearing up and just kind of like slaps her cheeks and she's like, okay, I'll be back. We're not gonna jump into anything without saying so. So give me a minute. And she'll go back to everyone and kind of relay everything and just be like, she doesn't seem to think that there's a way that, obviously with Gwen distance.
Yeah. Gwen, yeah.
There's
stare out a window somewhere forlornly. And Rook will be like, I have nothing to contribute to this conversation. So she'll like walk her over to the window and just be like, ooh, look at the sky. So Rook's got Rook is like way above my head. Yeah.
God. Tony is like looking longingly over at the window, like she's deeply confused as well. Like, wait, Gwen is dead? But I thought she did all this. What? Who is this? What does she mean that she's the one who did this to her? I thought she built the contraption that did the. What? Okay.
I don't think anybody else knows either. It seems very scattered and fractured, just like she is. But it doesn't seem like she believes that there's any way for herself, Penny, or this Gwen to come out of it. She said that if we kill the Lady of Shadows, then all of the parts of her will cease to exist. And I don't really...
Does she have any insights on how we could do that?
Kill her?
Yeah.
She said that the last page, which is over there somewhere in the bookcases, will uh, once combined with the rest of them, create a stairwell to get to the lady. But she didn't give me any specific combat instructions. You can ask though. I can't keep talking to her. It's really, really bumming me out.
Yeah, this is a super bummer, dude.
And I'm not, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but if there's not a specific physical thing that I can fix, I really feel out of my league here. I'm not good at just accepting emotions and not having a solution. So I don't like this.
None of us have actually like mentioned the Enigma Codex to Penny, right?
No.
Okay. Tony wants to walk up to her and ask, so Penny, you've had this Enigma Codex, correct?
The book.
You've had it for some time. You must have studied it. There has to be something about all the information in the world and the universe is in there. Is there anything that we could take away to help us in this situation?
And she seems to consider the book has many things, many great and wonderful things, and many things that were never meant to be known. And it's hard to tell the difference. The machine was supposed to change. It was supposed to help. It changed. It changed us, but it did not help. I do not think anything from that book could help anyone, and I was a fool to think I could use it differently. I don't know where that book came from, but it is evil. It is an evil thing. And it doesn't warn, doesn't speak of consequences. Just all the information in the world. Every story, we were never meant to know that much. That is certain. Why do you ask about the book? She says with like sudden fear kind of flashes across her face. Oh, I think you're muted.
Well, we'd heard that that's how you managed to come here and build the things you built.
Yes, the machine. I found it in the book's pages, and it split us into 3. And one of that 3, or perhaps 2, was the worst of us. And it has not gone well. And I fear the best of us is doomed. Just like Gwen was. From the minute we built that thing.
Okay. Well, I'm feeling ready to take this thing on. We have someone waiting for us back in the village or the town. Their life depends on our success as well.
The town. And she smiles again, thinking about something else.
Who's got you smiling like that?
Oh. The town. Storyville. Or was it Tillmore? Storyville. Where we met our daughter. And the smile quickly turns into like a sad, sad expression as she goes on that journey.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tony gives like an awkward kind of pat on her shoulder and is like slinks away back to her friends. So I think it's page time.
Looking at this bookshelf, hearing that if we defeat the Lady of Shadows, that the other two aspects will also die, and feeling that this might be the last time that anyone ever sees or hears of Penny, Aoife wants to look through her bookshelf, one, for the last page of the Enigma Codex, but also for any personal books or journals or diaries or personal touches from Penny, because she wants to bring back something to Storyville, something for all of the people who loved her to remember her by.
Yeah, and I think there's probably not going to be anything in a cohesive format here. It looks like,
right.
The ramblings on the walls and the drawings and stuff, like this has become like the kind of nightmarish diary, right? This is her autobiography across this room here. And honestly, in the state she's been in, and if she has truly been here for like 100 years or so, you probably think all the way people would like to remember her. I don't think there's anything left of that Penny for you to find here.
And as Aoife thumbs through all these different books, looking for some trace of who Penny was and coming up lacking, she just kind of sighs, shakes her head, and begins looking for the last page of the Codex.
Yeah. And it's like right when you kind of give up, right, looking through these like ramblings and these pages that are, torn out, or like she's just written things like notes across the surfaces of the page. You flip to one of the back of these things and that golden page kind of falls out. And you see also on the side of the room too, Gwen at this point now has kind of moved over towards the chair where Penny is sitting. And she's just looking at her with her arms crossed. And Penny is looking up at her. And so there's these two identical, but like of different age women staring across from each other. And Gwen says, "So my book, my ritual to lay her to rest, it's going to work, right?" And Penny looks up at her and says, "Perhaps. There's no harm in trying. Right?" And Gwen looks down and her eyes fill with tears and she's... I think I will, but... "Okay. Well, then you should help us. You can't just keep sitting here like this. You can't just do nothing." And Penny stares up at her and says, "Okay. If you'll have me."
I think we'll need all the help we can get.
Yeah. All right, then. Gwen says, "Let's do this. I'm tired of this place. This fucking place."
Yeah, get mad. Good. Hold on to that.
Yeah.
I'm fucking sick of this place too.
Yeah. It is terrible here.
Out of character. I think knowing that the Shadow Lady being the impulsive and passionate aspect of Penny, I feel like we could probably appeal to her in being like, look what this has gotten you so far. If you have this knowledge for this contraption and how to use it, and you've purposely destroyed it, you clearly did not meet the ends you wanted to meet. So maybe if you all come together, I think there's a chance we could convince her that she would be better. It'd be better if she were reunited with herself.
Yes, Bard, I have faith in you to make this happen.
Yes,
yeah,
Bard.
I was going to say, and you will be the one rolling that check.
And the therapy check will be done by... also, I will at this point, Katie, I feel like there's something that maybe Lou might have noticed, a discrepancy that is like nagging at the back, I think, of Lou's head. Why don't you go ahead and make me an intelligence check to see if you can remember what that is.
That's a 14.
Okay. It's something that Penny has said a couple of times. She keeps saying, Gwen is dead, Gwen is dead. But something about that is bugging you.
A lot of things are bugging me.
Yeah, but you had an experience outside of Gwen's mausoleum, too, right? That
she was not inside the tomb.
You couldn't feel a spirit there. And that's still nagging, I think, at the back of your...
Yeah, and all she really told us was that the Lady of Shadows did something to her.
Well, this Penny has told you Gwen is dead. She's said that a couple of times.
Yeah,
and
she said that. But when I asked, like, what happened to her, she just said the Lady of Shadows did something. Okay.
I'll just say that's just like kind of the one piece of the puzzle that still isn't really fitting anywhere.
Yeah. Well, I guess keep our eyes out for her daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Lou will mention that and be like, do you think that's something that we should bring up to her? Or do you think that's just going to make her needlessly upset again? And
yeah. I don't think that, we don't need to upset this girl anymore.
Okay. Oh God. Either of them. Fragile is a good
They've
way to
been
describe
through enough.
Good.
My whole life is a lie. I don't have a soul.
Listen.
Like, what else you got?
Yeah, I'm not real. Oh God, I'm gonna die. Oh wow, I've been going like banana pants in a tower by myself writing math equations. Oh Lord. And apparently number 3 of this 3-part personality is the worst. So we'll see.
I just think it's so, I don't know. It's so weird that the Gwen that we're with like doesn't know anything, and I don't know. It's all weird.
Yeah, also like why would the machine do this? Like how does that work? Like why were they separated into these 3 pieces? What do they mean? There's a lot of like
open
what?
Yeah.
They don't seem to have very much in common either. So like it's other than the way they all look, apparently.
Yeah. I don't know. And nobody knows how to fix the machine, so we can't really go find out that. And when we were looking at the writing and stuff all around it, we couldn't understand it. So also, I don't think we have
science. It's like physics,
time.
Which is
I don't think we have time to fix a machine anyway. So
yeah, Lorelai is going to be dying in like 2 hours.
Okay, well, let's just keep that in mind and proceed to fight an archfey and maybe figure out things along the way. I'm not nervous.
That's fine.
It's either about to be a real therapy session or a near-death battle. So let's do it.
Both.
Both at the same time. Let's do it. Let's mix it up. We like to keep it spicy here in Venture Maidens. Is it therapy or is it combat? We'll see.
Some therapy feels that way.
That's just life. Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah. What is therapy but battling oneself?
Yeah, and in fantasy we can do it literally. So let's do it.
Hell yeah, let's go.
All right. So you have the 5 pages, and Penny did mention you put the book on the put the pages in the book, put the book on the lectern, and apparently a staircase will appear. So yeah,
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's go field trip.
Yep.
I'm so nervous.
Good. Cleanse your butt. All right. So you take your page, your well-won glowing pages, and you make your way back through the castle. And every once in a while, Lou, you see the images of the servants of this place and the pets and the people and the guards and everyone who must have been here in their heyday. And you know that they're ghosts, but they look so real. Standing in the halls, and they all kind of watch you weirdly as you go, almost like they know something is about to change. And you make your way down to that lectern, and there are more of them there. Maybe dozens of these servants just kind of quietly watching you all with an expression of hope? Or is it fear? You're not really sure, but you're the only one who can see this. Again, since there are all those ghosts, part of those hundreds of souls that are trapped here in this place.
No pressure. Lou is just like
waving,
seething. Like... Okay.
I'll put the book in its place. I feel like I should be the one to do that.
Okay. Yeah, so you like slot in the pages and they, stop being gold the minute they're in and attached to the spine, right? And they just become these final pages. And you can see as the book is filled, right? Because it was the last 5 pages that were torn out of this book that Gwen had, this book that she stole from the church before leaving, this book that is apparently about, exorcisms and putting dark spirits to rest. And you see these last 5 pages detail a ritual to lay the dead to rest.
Before we go further, maybe if this is something we're going to try, we should know these steps.
Yeah. So essentially, what this boils down to is this is very similar to it's a lot of chanting and saying specific words and then things with holy water and a cross and stuff. And this is all stuff as Gwen is reading through it, she is pulling this shit out of her bags, and because she brought all of this stuff with her, right? And she's handing a bunch of it to Penny, who's just kind of standing there like a wisp behind her. She's holding this stuff, and so Gwen's like, okay, so I'm gonna get up there and I'm gonna have to read this section, and I can't be interrupted as I'm doing it, and I think if I have enough time, that should do it.
How much time do you need us to buy you? An estimate.
Well, and she's tracing her finger, and you can see the stanzas and the stanzas of this foreign language, which is Latin, but you would have no idea coming from your, fantasy world. It seems to be quite a bit of text. Aoife, you would be, as a performer, you'd be like, I would have trouble reading that in a minute, but maybe it's possible. 1 minute.
Okay. That's a lot of 6 seconds.
That's a lot of rounds.
Oh boy.
Okay. Woo. Everyone, do your best.
So, Tony, do you want to put the book on the stand now that it's all completed? Yee. And instantly, as you do, you all hear like a clanging and a clattering coming from the ceiling up above as you see the stones up there, the dusty stones, begin to shake and move as like this trap door opens up in the ceiling and slides away, and these like rusty stairs are, you know, like creaking as they're going down. The ancient mechanisms are activated for the first time in decades as this, very thin spiral iron wrought staircase lowers down to the ground and like rests with a final clang, and the stones all shake for a moment. And your eyes can travel upwards and you just see like darkness beyond to whatever this space is up above.
All right, who's going first? I can go first. I can do that. Okay.
Okay, well, I'm right fucking behind you then.
I never thought I'd say this to you, but please be right on my ass. Thank you.
Thank you. Right.
You got it.
In there. Right up in there.
Okay. And Lou will start making her way up, just like under her breath, like mumbling positive affirmations to herself.
Yeah. And then Rook will be like, wait. Okay, so if this chick needs to read for like a minute,
mm-hmm.
and if there's going to be some creepy ghost, I guess, right, Lady of Shadow, should I protect her, or like should we put someone on her, or what? Who's like throat ripping and who's like doing the guard thing?
I mean, actually, probably Tony's gonna be the best because she can help shield, right?
Yeah.
Even though I know you love a good throat ripping, so I'm sorry.
Well, should she get too close?
Throat rip away.
So I'm guarding Gwen, little Gwen.
I guess if she's reading it, but I don't know. What about the other one? She like kind of looks over at Penny. It's like whispering. Do we just let her die or what? She's kind of a bummer. Like,
no.
Wow.
Oh,
she wanted to die. She wrote it on the board.
That's today. What if we win? She's gonna really regret that shit tomorrow.
Just be careful what you ask for.
Oh my god. Rook, I would really like if Wolf, you could come fight with me because I need somebody up there with me, by the way.
Yeah, no,
so
I mean,
okay.
It's wherever you need me.
Ooh. Really helpful now. Lou just starts making her way up the stairs.
She like rolls her eyes. Listen, I need a drink, so this is like, if we could wrap this up, that would be great. Cool. All right, so we are walking up the stairs and about to walk into whatever situation this is. So I wanted to do one final check. What are we at on our monster trackers, everybody? Just out of curiosity.
Tony has one check.
Okay.
Ooh. Well, I got 2 checks.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you had your little freak out that put you down.
Little? 16 points of damage. It's not little.
Little freak out. Everybody's freaking out. 3. Aoife has 3? Oh, the hot.
Oh,
Aoife's on the verge.
You had none in the beginning, and now you have all of them.
I love this. And I will say Rook is at 2. Ooh. Rook is at 2 so far. Because her little freak out in the room against you, Lou, knocked her down from 3 to 2. Everybody was freaking out. Everybody had some, like, decompress. Fuck! Alright. So order, we have Lou in the front, and then we have Tony. And then do we want to put Gwen and Penny in the middle?
Gwen and Penny and Aoife, and then Rook in the back, I would say.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Because, yeah, this, as you are walking up this staircase, you are afraid it's going to disintegrate under your feet because it is so rusted, and, like, this is something, it looks like it's been outside in the rain, you know, for 100 years, and, like, is attached to the back of one of those, like, abandoned houses. That's the big, awesome energy you're getting from this, like, haunted-ass staircase as you're walking up to the top here. And it seems like it takes so long, especially Lou, you know, you're in the lead, so you're getting closer and closer to that black square that leads up into wherever this is going. And all of those ghosts are still there, like, and their eyes are just following you all as you raise here. So, and there are more of them now. Maybe 100 or so, just crowded around the base of this staircase, waiting to see what happens.
Can you rally the ghosts to be on our side as well, so that we have, like, a Harry Potter moment where they all bum rush?
It's time to fight!
Yeah.
You want Lou to give a rallying call?
Your banshee scream? I don't know.
It's just when it's a rallying call, it's just the Xena warrior princess.
Nice.
Amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think that she would say anything, to be honest, after everybody gave her a bunch of flack for seeing nothing. She just would look at it nervously. I don't maybe something to think about later, but
for sure.
And you know, yeah, as that's going, you're noticing that, and thoughts are going racing through your head. You reach the top of this staircase, and you can see that the black square, it's like a wooden trap door that you can push up.
She goes in.
You do, and you have to, like, put some muscle into it as you go in. The heavy wood of this thing, like, slams open on the other side, and you are actually flooded with light. Like, pretty dappled light, like, hits your eyes, and it takes you a moment to adjust as you kind of stick your head up, and you see that you're in this, like, atrium room that is connected to a much, much larger room. And you can see that those lights are stars that are shining like silver stars from this beautiful night sky up above that you can see through the walls and ceiling of this room, which are made entirely of glass, with, like, you know, wrought iron in between, welding it all together. So you're in some kind of, like, conservatory space, like on the very top of the castle. And all around you can just get a cursory view of where you are. You'd see it's a big open space, and around you can see, like, there's some shattered furniture and stuff, but there are steps that lead up into the room proper that are obscuring your view of whatever is, like, in the bulk of this room.
She will take a moment, like, hold her breath, seeing it's really pretty after all this, like, horror that they've been in. She'll kind of hoist herself up and move to the side to let everybody else through and peer around, keeping an eye out for the fucking Lady of Shadows who is in here. Not a big deal.
Yeah, so, you all, like, filter up into this room, and, yeah, you all see that same thing. So this room is quite large. It's longer than it is wide. It's about, let's say, like, 40 feet wide and, like, 60 feet long, a rectangle. And, the ceiling is about 20 feet tall in all directions, and it's kind of curved on either side with, again, all this just gorgeous glasswork up on the top, which is all just clear to allow for a great view of the night sky. And then the edges that are flat are all these, like, beautiful stained glass windows that depict various, like, woodland creatures and plants and just absolutely gorgeous. Whatever furniture was in here has been shattered, smashed, or removed. So there's very little actual structures left. But amidst all of this beauty, there are these three very strange things that seem kind of out of place. They're like these large pylons made out of the silvery colored metal that have been like stabbed through the ceiling at different points in this room. So there are three of them. So at the far end of this rectangle, there are these two tall silver things in each corner. And then kind of in the center of the room, there is one. So they make like this triangle on the edge of the room. And they're tall. They're like 10 feet or so that go up into the air. Yeah, again, through the shattered glass, like where they are. And they look bizarre. It's like looking at science fiction technology, you know, in a fantasy world, that kind of bizarre. And yeah, other than that, that seems to be what's up. It's very dim in here, obviously. It's just those like glow of stars, and every once in a while the view is obscured by some of those blackish gray clouds that pass by. So it looks like you're maybe pre-storm, but this is the first time you've seen stars in this whole world you've been in. It's been this horrible, dusty, gray world. So here you are. You do not see any people in this room, but you're standing on one very far end, and there certainly are plenty of shadows in here.
Mm-hmm.
Gwen. Lou just is whispering because she's nervous. She's like, I don't know. Is a ritual something that you can start immediately, or is it something you need to have her in sight?
And she like has the book open and kind of she flips it open, you know, and she's like stumbling with the holy water and like everything, and you know, Penny is like kind of helping her get her situation, and she's looking frantically. She's like, I mean, do we think is this like the haunting place, right? Because you have to be in the haunted place, and then I guess. Yeah, I could probably just start now, right? She's looking around.
Doesn't really seem like there's anywhere else to go.
Okay. Right, well, why don't you do this? And she, like, puts some candles, like, down on the ground around her and is, like, having Penny light them. And she kind of stands up, and so she moves into, like, the first third of the room or so, so kind of up the atrium steps and at the end of the long rectangle on the far side, away from those pylons. And the minute, like, she's settled and everything, and there's, like, quiet, it's so quiet in this room, she starts reading and saying these words. And immediately, as she reads the first lines, there's, like, this hiss of wind that moves through this space as suddenly, like, this gust picks up and chills you all to the bone as it moves through, and the candles, like, go out around her. And Gwen looks nervously at Penny and is like, light them again. And you hear, like, a zzz, zzz kind of sound, a zapping sound almost coming from these three silvery things on the far side. And you see their silver surface begins to waver, almost like there's an invisible, like, heat or something coming off of them. And Gwen starts to, like, read the next line, and there's the sound of shattering glass from somewhere, and there's, like, a rolling thunder sound from up above as the stars start to blink out and storm clouds roll in.
Lou is going to start making her way a little closer, standing between Gwen and these pylons, and try to be ready for what's coming, and also try to figure out what the fuck is going on with those pylons, like the invisible wavering, I don't know, I don't think she's ever seen that before, so it's a little hard to say.
No, absolutely not. Well, why don't you, because you are, you're a tinkerer, you're covert ops, like you're all about making things. Why don't you go ahead and give me some kind of check to see if you can figure out what the hell these like machine things are doing.
Is that just
Take a
straight
good guess.
intelligence or investigation?
Whatever you would like to use for that, whatever you think your
I'm
like
gonna do investigation.
Yeah, investigation. Maybe, yeah, you're looking at them, trying to put the pieces together. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. Okay, that is 11 on the die plus 8, so 19.
Okay. So yes, this is obviously technology you have never seen before, but there are some interesting things that have happened that are similar to things you have observed in your studies. Like that zapping kind of sound. It's electric. It's like that same sound you notice like when you get like static shock. That's what these things kind of sound like. And the shape of them, it is weird, but they do resemble like lightning rods, if you had to guess, like on a really big scale. And whatever that zapping thing was, maybe they're somehow activating or like, and they're reaching up to the sky, and the storm seems to have something to do. So you think these are some kind of like electric conduits of some kind.
Gotcha.
So you have a good feeling of like, oh, touching would be bad.
Yeah, no touchy.
No, touchy bad.
Okay.
And they seem to be powering on. Is like,
is there anything like connected with a wire or anything that it looks like it's going to power up? Or
that's why also it's like, what is it doing? You don't see anything that it's powering up, but clearly they are powering up, which is concerning.
Yeah, deeply
concerning. Yes. So clearly this is happening and you're examining and everybody is like in these positions, right? And Gwen is just like reading through this thing. She's hauling ass trying to get through it as fast as she can. When another like peal of thunder rolls from above, and through those like panes in the ceiling where these like pylons are shattered out, rain starts to patter down, and this full-blown storm has rolled in up above now, and it is very dark now in this room, and there is like a flash of blue electricity that comes from between like the pylons, so right in the center there, and you see the outline of a figure, a woman with long like stringy black hair, and you can see her shoulders, and her face is obviously, it's backlit right by the storm, so you can't really see, but you all hear like a whisper that rings across the room. It's not a whisper, you can all hear it even over the storm. Why have you come?
And Aoife will kind of step forward towards Lou, towards these pylons in the center of the room, just sort of inherently towards the, the sort of silvery glowing light that they're giving off. And she will throw out a light on like her backpack as she steps forward, and she says, "We've come because we originally came for a book, but we've stayed thus far despite finding it because we seek to right a wrong that's been done over 100 years ago. We've seen how broken and tormented you are, and knowing what you have meant to so many people, we wanted to see if there's anything that we could do to help you, to whether that means to lay you to rest or to reunite all these disparate parts of yourself, but we all can see you're in pain."
And there's like a howling laugh that like rings out across the space, and the way it like bounces between the glass and echoes, and it's so loud and just like grates against all the nerves in your body as this like cackle comes from this being and not this being, from everywhere. You wish to help me? You fool. I am the strongest of them, of course, and I must survive. I will survive. I will not disappear. Everybody roll some initiative for me. Well, I check out the sweet gif you posted in the chat, I'm assuming. Let's see. Oh, yeah! Heart! This is feeling haunted as fuck right now. So, all right, initiative time.
Blue got a 23.
Okay. Oh, shit. All right.
Rogue shit.
Rogue shit.
Rook got a 21, and Aoife got a whopping 13.
Wow. Okay.
Tony got a towering 7.
Oh, baby. All right. And then, okay, Rook 21. Okay, so Lou 23, Rook 21, Aoife 13, Tony 7. Okay. And then I am
shadows 9 million.
9 million. 9 million. I'm a ghost. See you losers. Okay. And then I'm gonna say I'm gonna put Gwen and Penny on the same turn, and just they're gonna be doing the ritual, focusing on that. And then we had, so Tony, you're guarding.
Yeah.
Okay. Guarding the two of them. And then, are you cool with running Rook for this fight, Sage?
Yes, indeedy. I have her character sheet pulled up.
Hell yeah. All right, sweet. So, before we, Lou, you are going first, but right before that, we get a fun lair action. It's going to happen at the top of every round. So, as she says, I will not disappear, you all now see the blue, like, light travel up each of these pylons here. And it's very weird because it looks like a thin ring that isn't really touching the material itself, but it's just like the electricity, like, crackling up of these things. And with the storm up above, you can see every once in a while one of these lightning strikes from above will hit the top of these pylons and, like, travel down and cause them to bounce with more of this blue light. So this, like, weird neon light now is filling the room, so it's not completely dark, which is nice, giving you just enough to see just the front of this woman, which is a face you have seen now several times before, the one that appeared in the painting of that feast hall, the one that appeared in the mirror, Aoife, that you put back together, that, like, ghostly pale woman with those black veins just under the skin through her. It's, yeah, very, very ring girl, very spooky. And as these pylons light up, you can see that from the top of each of them, which are these kind of circular balls, these glowing lights appear. They're about the size of, like, a basketball, just these, like, crackling white lights that are, like, bobbing and drifting down towards you all, like, very oddly suspended in midair, these floating creatures. So those all appear around the pylons, and Lou, you get to make the first move. What the hell are you doing?
Good fucking question. All right. I will, so I want to move forward. As I move closer to these pylons, do I feel like I'm not able to pass between them? Or
no, you think you can. You think if you touch them, it would be ouchies. Okay. But they are arranged in a triangular pattern, and you could absolutely step through.
Okay.
Through that, towards the center where this woman is standing.
Having stepped forward, about how far am I from her right now?
So I would say you are all, like, 20 feet into the room, and the room is 60 feet long, and she's kind of, so she's about 20 feet away from you, I think, in the middle.
Okay, 20
triangle.
I love that. That works for me. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and run towards her.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead.
I will say you will be running past one of the glowing ball creatures that has appeared on, like, the southern pylon that's kind of in the middle of the room.
Okay.
So it's up to you whether or not you think that's a creature.
She's going to, probably have the thought that it could be, but she's gonna continue to move past it.
Okay, I'm gonna get an attack of opportunity.
Oh, yep.
All right. An 18 to hit you.
Okay. That's gonna hit.
Fuck. Okay, as this thing, like, as you run past it, you're like, yeah, is it energy? Is it a creature? What? And as you do, you see the ball moves, with a sudden, like, rapid pace, and, like, this bolt of blue electricity whips out and, like, lashes across your body, and you feel, like that horrendous, like, zap as your heart stops for, like, just a moment as you're hit with this bolt of electricity, for 8 lightning damage. This thing zaps you as you run on by.
I'm going to. Ooh, should I save it? I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save the uncanny dodge. Just whatever this bitch is gonna do when I'm up in her face.
Yeah, this is minion shit over here.
Yeah. 9
right.
points. I have a feeling will be child's play later on. So, don't laugh like that. That scares me. So I'm gonna move up to her. And then I'm going to go ahead and activate my sonic dagger.
Cool.
So I will still get sneak attack.
Nice.
And go ahead and make an attack on her. Okay, that's going to be 18 to hit.
An 18 will hit. And as you stab into her, you do realize, like, this woman is made of flesh. It's, like, as much as, like, this whole ghosty, like, vibes are going on and all the ghosts, like, whatever she is, it feels like stabbing into a corpse.
Ooh, okay. So that is going to be gross, and then I'm going to do damage.
Yep.
4, 7.
Just checking, is that thunder damage?
That is thunder damage.
Good.
Yep. I have thunder damage, and I don't know if it will be helpful, but for my next offhand attack, I have that cold iron dagger. So
cool.
All right, back to mathing. 11 plus 4 is 15 plus 4, 19 points of thunder damage.
Woo-wee! Okay, yeah, that is a great hit. So as you make contact with her, yeah, you discover, okay, not incorporeal. Great. But it does have that, like, that same feeling of, like, stabbing into a corpse in the way that it's, like, hard and, like, leathery almost. But as your blade, makes contact, you can see, a chunk of her flesh is, like, blown off by this, like, thunderous force. And she seems surprised. By that, she kind of looks down, like, into her abdomen where you've stabbed and looks back up at you, and you just see that, like, that black film in her eyes, just looking at you with such hatred, and, like, the veins in her face kind of intensify.
She is also met with a look of confusion because Lou really didn't think that she was gonna hit something solid there. So, and then for my offhand attack, I'm going to go ahead and try to stab in with that cold iron dagger. All right, that is going to be a 17 to hit.
Okay, and she is a fey creature, so basically just act as if this was a +1 magic dagger.
Okay, then 18 to hit.
Okay, yeah, that will hit again.
Okay, and then I will just do 4 points total.
Cool. Yeah, and so where that cold iron strikes, you can see her skin, like, burns away in this, like, almost radiant flash, and she lets out a hissing sound of, like, deep pain. And she says, "You dare bring that here?" And that's that horrible sound again.
You didn't really leave us much of a choice, lady.
Anything else for you? You pissed her off sufficiently.
I think it's gonna be the end of my turn and maybe the last thing I ever do. So I'm good.
Neat, yeah, because it's her turn. So, oh boy, you just hit her with cold iron. You just brought a gun to a knife fight. Yay! All right, where do we want to start? Do we want to start hard, or okay, I can do 2 of those or 2 of those? Well, you're right here. So what she's going to reach up with like lightning speed, as like you now have, you know, these two weapons like kind of stuck in her, and her arms just swing up on either side and clutch your face, on both sides, and where her skin makes contact with yours, you just feel this cold corpse flesh, and like that shock tingle like all over your skin. I need you to... Okay, no. 1 second, let me see how bad this is, and then I will ask for a save.
Okay.
Okay. Ooh, 19 to hit. Yeah, that's for sure.
No.
Okay, so psychic damage. Here we go. Psychic damage. All right. Wow. All right. 11, 15. 15 psychic damage. And I need you to succeed on a charisma saving throw for me. DC 14.
Jesus. Yeah. No.
Okay. All right. So as she touches you, and there's this pulse, like the physical sensations are so uncomfortable. It's that flash of like cold, and then that electric shock, and then that wave of just horror hits you as just this feeling of just overwhelming rage and regret and just sadness, honestly, like whips through your mind. And you experience something, maybe it's a memory, a dream, you're not sure. It's something that's not yours, but you're seeing it through your eyes as this laboratory just explodes around you, and you're seeing your own hands like tear at these pipes and the glass, and you can feel the pain in your hands as like your fingers are just bleeding from the smashing and the destruction, but it's all you can do. You have to do it. You have to do it because no one else can ever go through this ever again. You are stunned until the end of your next turn as this wave of psychic energy and this memory just tears through you.
All right. I am going to use my uncanny dodge to half that to 7.
Fair enough. What is it? What is it that is keeping you from taking some of that psychic damage?
Yeah, I think that it's just the knowledge of all the people that are literally behind her right now, all the promises that she had made, trying to keep everyone's spirits up. She just is not going to let herself fully succumb to this emotion that's just not going to help her right now to protect them.
Yeah. And I think you would recognize too, that feeling, that rage, that everything, like that is kind of the same feeling that triggered that response in you before. And like in a flash, you kind of understand what this woman is about. Okay. And that, yeah, that's rough being stunned. Okay, so that is good. That is going to be her turn. So that is going to bring us now to Rook.
Rook is going to run up with Lou, seeing as is taking this opportunity to cut some fucking throats.
Yeah.
Do some throat heart ripping, and is first and foremost on her way over there is going to cast protection from good and evil on herself, seeing that this cold iron dagger has done considerable amount of damage, has really seemed to have deeply affected her. She's going to take the precaution to make herself be protected from Fae, so that any Fae have disadvantage on attack rolls against her, and she can't be charmed or frightened by Fae.
Cool. So what do we think is like the least nerdy way that Rook can cast this spell? Because she doesn't consider herself much of a spellcaster, but she does have things as like a monster hunter, like as part of her actual subclasses, like monster hunter. So what do we think that is? Is it like does she wear something? She has like a charm that she pulls out, or like some nasty shit she rubs on her face, or like she seems really into like, she was into eye paste and stuff, so maybe it's something disgusting. She rolls around in some piss for a second, and then
Definitely, yeah. It's it takes out clippings from the chicken hut, like clippings of the talons from its feet, and then just like dusts them in her large, like heavy curls.
And she like coughs and keeps running. Amazing. Great. Okay,
And
yeah,
then,
so great.
Yeah, so she does it as her action, and then as her bonus action, she's gonna designate the Lady of Shadows as her Slayer's prey. So whenever she gets an attack roll, or whenever she makes a successful attack against them, she'll get to do some extra damage, and that'll be your turn.
Cool. And she can run up to. You want to like have her flank Lou? I'm guessing. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
And luckily that that creature only has one reaction, so it can't make an opportunity attack against Rook as she passes by. Sweet. All right, so Rook is up in there, up in the shit. And then so Aoife, we come to you.
Oh, it's me. Well then, Aoife. Thinking that all is perhaps not quite lost, she, is continuing to stride forward towards the center of this room where now the Lady of Shadows is flanked by Rook and by Lou. And she will say, bolstering herself up, standing as big and as tall and puffing herself up as much as she can, she's going to say, we clearly have the tools to fight you. And like in motions toward this like gash in her decrepit flesh that Lou has ripped open, and will say, it doesn't have to be like this. If you call upon your knowledge to be able to reunite your three parts of yourself, I know that you mourn the loss of Gwen. I will be willing to stay and stand in her place.
Make me. Do you want to do intimidation or do you want to do persuasion? Because I feel like you got a little of both in there. Like, we have the tools to fight you, B, was the intro, but the let me stay with you forever, hun, is the tail. So what are we going for?
We'll go for persuasion.
Okay.
Let's see, all right. Ooh, that's very good. That is a 25.
Okay. Yeah, so, you're...
And I will say, she's willing to do this. She's willing to use mark off a tracker on her thing to, like, forge this as a fey, word of warning, like, bond.
Yeah. Okay. So, you present the offer, I'll say, because that's always step one of any fairy deal. 1, present. 2, the step is accept. So if this woman accepts your offer, then it will be done. As you say this, she... I guess the two of you who are close to her would see her pause, in the middle of this and just be confused, I think, by this. And a lot of different emotions play across her face very, very quickly in that, like, 6-second, thing. And she opens her mouth and she, like, screams, and you can see like the crackle of like blue lightning, and she says, none can replace her, and we cannot be together. They cannot handle it. They cannot handle what it is to lose a child. It is for us. And you feel that rejection, like, slap across you, as you are not going to be able to replace Gwen. And she is not willing now to combine yourselves. But you can tell, Aoife, you have shaken her with that. Something is off kilter now with her. She seems to be considering... There's something more going on than it's just like these people storming her castle, right? You got to her with that.
All right. I think with that, she'll take her bonus action to give Lou a bardic inspiration, and that'll be your turn.
Okay, Cool. Are you moving into the room at all? Did I miss that?
So I think she would be, probably about 20 feet away
So
from
stay
everyone,
kind
towards
of-
that middle.
Yeah, where the ritual is going down, I'll say.
Mhm.
About 20
Yeah.
feet away. Cool. All right, so yeah, you take up that flanky position there. So, and just so you all know, I moved one of the little minions in between Rook and Aoife for next round, so you have at least that enemy turn to think about what you want to do. Okay, but that is going to bring us to one of these little glowing balls of light that just bounce so weirdly in the way. And Aoife, so you're standing there in front of the ritual, and Tony is there in front of the ritual. So the little ball of light is going to drift towards you, Tony, because you're wearing a bunch of metal stuff. I imagine it would be attracted to that. So one of these things, like, it moves from that southern pylon, the one like right in the center of the room, and it is coming towards you, and it reaches out again with one of these like lightning bolts. You can see its body flashes blue very brightly as it's trying to make contact with you. A 16 to hit?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this lightning bolt like smacks you in the chest here, and you're going to take 6 lightning damage as this thing now is real close to you and like drifting in your face. And as you look at it up close, yeah, it just looks like a ball of light. It's weird. It's very weird. And then the 2 no, I have on separate initiative. Okay, cool. And then so Tony, it's your turn. You can respond if you like in kind. One of these glowing balls is right there in front of you. And it looks like the other 2 in the far end are going to be drifting towards the 2 who are squaring off with the Lady of Shadow in the center of the room.
I don't think I could do anything effective against a ball of light. I'm not magic in any way whatsoever. Well, I guess why not try? But I won't do it with my sword since it did electric damage. I guess I'll try to whip it.
Whip it. I will say it won't make a difference between your sword and your whip. So if you want to use your sword, which is more damage, that's totally fine.
Good to know. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
I'll do my sword.
Yeah.
That is 15 to hit.
Yeah, a 15 will hit this thing, so you can bring the right down.
Cool. And that's is that 6? That is 6 with 2 and what is 11.
Math land is hard. So 11 non-magical slashing damage.
Yes.
Okay, so you do hit, but it is like the case when you've hit other magical creatures before where that damage is going to be halved because this has resistance. So you still do 5 damage to this thing. So you are doing something, and you see you're cutting off quite a bit of the energy of this thing. Like, you've almost halved its hit point with the 5 damage. So these things aren't... They pack a punch, but they squishy. So you did absolutely do something to this thing.
Okay, that sounds good. And the lady is like further. How far exactly is she?
She's 20 feet away from you.
Okay.
So because it's kind of like you all in this group, right, around this ritual, and then 20 feet away is the secondary group, which is the lady, Rook, and then Lou right now squaring off. And soon to be the 2 other Willow. Oh, shit. The ghosts. Balls of light.
All right.
Fuck. It's been a while since I've done it. It's okay.
Okay, we're gonna hold on to our throat ripping agenda just for now, and we're gonna take our extra attack and try and take this ball of light down.
Get out of here!
Oh hell yeah! That's gonna be a 24 to hit.
Oh
so,
hell yeah! Hell
Yeah.
yeah!
And then that's gonna be another 10 damage.
Ooh, okay, so have that to 5, and this thing probably isn't going to survive another swing, based on, like, it's gotten very small. It started out of, like, basketball, you got it down to, like, tennis ball, in this, like, by carving off whatever that electric energy is. And you see, like, the electricity that forms its body, it does, like, travel down your sword and kind of, like, stop at the hilt, you know, your guard, where you are. So you are, like, slicing through the energy of this thing.
Woohoo!
Yeah! All right, anything else for you?
Quick team, tell me, should I action surge, do it again, or should I save it?
I would save it because if it moves
save it.
past you, you get a reaction anyway.
Yeah.
I save it. That's my turn.
I will say, if you want to activate your fighters, the guard stance or whatever, that's a bonus action, right? So is that
Oh
something
yeah,
you want to...
I'll take my fighting stance, my defensive stance.
Okay, as your bonus action.
Protect.
So you assume the stance, and what does that do again? Everybody gets +2?
It gives
AC?
+2 to their AC, yeah.
Cool. So Aoife, you're going to get that too, because you're within 5 feet of Tony.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Tony, do a protect. So that's, yeah, so Aoife, Penny, and Gwen all have that bonus from you. Oh, hell yeah. Right. And then that's going to be, another, the balls of light, great balls of fire. They are drifting in a triangular formation. So one is going to be coming for Rook, and then one is going to be coming for Lou. So here we go. So here we go. We'll do the one for Lou first. 16.
They get advantage too.
Ooh. Okay, just the 16. Zap, that's going to be 6 points of lightning damage.
Ow!
This thing, comes up from behind you and just zaps you right in the butt. Like a dick.
Everyone's always coming for that booty.
They're coming for that booty. You got a great booty. It's so attractive.
These cakes be fresh as hell.
And then it's going to be a 15 on Rook. Can't remember what it is. What is it, Sage? Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, that does not hit Rook.
Yep. So this thing zaps and Wolf Girl just out of the way. Some of her hair that has the nasty toenails in it. Smells bad. It smells real bad, but she's okay. It's okay. It'll grow back when she goes to sleep and ages a year. So that's good. And then that is going to carry us down to so Gwen and Penny continue reading off this ritual and get through another line or so of this. And you see Aoife and Tony probably in the middle of this. Both Gwen and Penny start like shivering. It's cold in this room. There's like, a gust blowing through and all the storm and stuff and water starting to fall, but there's definitely like a bluish tinge that has come over both of them. And you can see even Gwen is like shaking a little bit as she's continuing to read the words, but she's staying faithfully at it. And Penny is like blocking, the wind from these candles, trying her best to like keep them lit in between stanzas here. Something is happening. So then we come up back to the top of the round. So our lair action here. Who do I think? I think Tony and Lou are pretty busy. Oh, no. Lou and Rook are a bit busy, so they don't see this. But Tony and Aoife. Yeah, so you see that. You see your friends, that blue tinge. That's weird. There's this glowing ball of light here in front of you. That's weird. A lot is going on. But you also notice that those panels on the side of the room where that stained glass is, there's something odd about them. They catch your eye in a flash of light, and they're just shine really brightly, really reflectively, almost as if there was a lot of light bouncing off of them, but there isn't. But you see things reflected in them. You see a girl with black hair and these wings on her back, standing up to this woman, this lady of shadow. You see, and this like aura of horrible lightning shadow is like storming out from behind this woman, and this girl just stands there in front, and you can hear ringing very distantly as you see this scene. Stop. This isn't you. I love you just the way you are. Stop. And I need both of you to make Wisdom saving throws for me. Is he being pulled into this vision?
Is this against a magical effect?
It is indeed against a magical effect.
Huzzah! I get advantage.
Whee!
Tony got a 9.
Okay.
Natural 20 for a total of 21.
All right, so Tony, you are definitely going to fail. So on a failed save, the target becomes frightened for the duration.
Ugh.
So this is 1 minute
Ugh,
as this is happening.
That. It's not a good look.
Yeah, it sucks. But as what is happening to you, you are seeing this scene, and at first it's like something, you'd like be watching a scene, and then you feel yourself there. And this woman is in front of you. This woman who you have loved and trusted is become this monstrous thing. And just, these black ropes of like shadow and lightning are crackling around her, and you do not recognize her anymore. And you know she is going to kill you. And that hard, deep piece of you that you didn't want to admit that someone you loved so much could hurt you, that piece breaks. And you are filled with fear, looking up at your mother. And that is going to be, so 1 minute, you're going to be frightened. At the end of each of your turns, before the spell ends, you are going to have to succeed on a wisdom saving throw or take psychic damage as this happens. And I am going to go ahead and give you a save at the end of each of your turns to see if you can end the effect. But that's going to be rough. So you are consumed by this fear right now. So frightened, the condition, frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls, while the source of its fear is within the line of sight. So that is as long as basically you can see this image, you're trapped here, and you can't willingly move closer to the source of your fear. So basically you're going to have to stay in place because this is like the walls are playing this scene around you.
Okay.
All right, and that was just the lair action. Fun. And Aoife, you, because you succeeded, you see this scene like play out, and then it fades away. And it's disturbing, but you were like a third party seeing it, whereas Tony is now trapped in the psychic horror of that moment. So it ends for you, but and then Lou, you are stunned at this moment here, so you are quivering in place, but at the end of your turn you come back to yourself. Just in time for the lady's turn.
Let's see if I survive.
Well, now there is a big rook there too. You know what? She's just going to keep pushing it. She's going to use her once per day. So she, this woman also, since Aoife, like, spoke to her, she has not really stopped screaming from that rage, that moment that she seemed to have evoked emotionally. And she holds out, like, her hands in front of her, and there's this pulse of electricity that travels through the room and kind of hits everyone here. I need you... Oh, sorry. Nope. It's only... shorter range, so it's only going to be our dear Lou and Rook. Wisdom saving throws, please. This is against a fear effect, if it matters.
Because Rook has up protection from good and evil from Fae, she cannot be made afeared.
I'm not afeared of you.
I got a 16.
Okay. Rook still needs to make the save because there's some nasty damage as a kicker too, though. But 16, you're going to succeed, which is good. So we're only taking half damage.
Oh, Lord, that's a natural one.
Oh, Jesus, Rook. Okay. She's like, I can't be afraid, but psychic damage goes right in there. Rook has no defense against brain stuff. Okay, so I'll roll that real quick.
I am going to use my uncanny dodge on this again, since I can see her.
Yes.
You cannot take reactions.
She's no longer stunned.
My turn already happened, and I'm not stunned.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it was
that's
just
right.
till
We're
the
on
end
her
of your
turn.
turn. 9,
Thank the Lord.
22. Plus 7. 31? Yeah. So 31 points of psychic damage is the full tamale. So you're getting the half tamale. So 15 for you, Lou, because you did make the save. But Rook has taken 31 points of psychic damage.
Oof. Okay. And then I get to half that again. I'm alive, baby!
Whee!
Barely.
How's Rook doing? She probably is down.
Rook is pretty...
She's pretty beef.
Rook is at about half health. Rook is pretty beefy.
Yeah. So yeah.
Good for her. What's that like?
Yeah. What's that feeling like? So as this like pulse comes over you two, again, it's these images in your mind, these images that aren't quite yours, and it's this girl again. You just can't seem to get her out of whatever this state is, and there's like the sound of shattering glass and tearing metal and a scream that you know, and everything goes dark. And then there's that thought that you can't get out. It's like, oh my God, what have I done? What did I just do? What did I just do? As the world is black and that scream is just echoing through your head and it won't stop. It just tears at you. It tears at you. Luckily, that was a once per day thing, so that's good. The Veil of Nightmares has passed. So moving along.
Truly, that was a nightmare. Good job.
Moving along swiftly. Rook. Ow! She's like trying not to cry, but obviously crying as like the psychic energy has destroyed her.
Oh man, for real. So for her, she had the arrows that were tipped with cold iron, right?
Yep.
Or did she have a
Yep, she has 10 of those. 10 of those bolts.
Nice. All right, I will track those. So she is going to, as she is right up against the Lady of Shadow, she's going to pull out her big honking crossbow, and she's going to load up and fire 2 shots at the dear lady here.
Pew pew. And she has a crossbow expert, so no disadvantage for close range.
Mm-hmm. And allows her to ignore the loading property so she can actually take both of her attacks. So the first one is a 26.
Ooh, Lord.
And that's going to trigger her favored foe. So when she successfully makes an attack roll, she's going to mystically bond it. So that Lady of Shadow is going to take more damage.
Yeah.
So that is 6 plus 3 plus 1 plus 4 is 14 damage for the first attack. And then a 27 for the second attack.
Stop killing Faye Rook. Faye killer.
Stop being so good at your job.
God.
And that's going to be another 14 points of damage.
Oh, I'm just getting out the calculator at this point. Okay. Yeah, these shots are like blasting through this woman's body and just like pulverizing bone and tissue and decaying flesh. All the electricity is making it smell very like bad rotten barbecue.
Ugh. And that will be her turn. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Rook is doing work. She's blasting through, pushing through the tears of like that experience that Lou, you're the only one who also knows how horrible that just was. All right, and then we've got a wisp. So we're gonna do. So this one will be the one that is. Okay. So this is, let's say the one attacking Rook is going to go ahead and go now. 21 to hit. Yikes. So it's going to be 5 lightning damage to Rook. Ooh. Or...
Yeah, that'll happen. But as a reaction, she'll use her absorb elements, and like with her crossbow bolts, you'll see like they begin to whir with this electricity as like some of that energy gets sapped into her bolts.
Nice.
So she'll take damage.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Doing a much better job. See, this is just always better when you give a PC a chance to run an NPC because they can actually do this shit. They don't have 20 different people to think about. Okay. Hell yeah. All right. And then Aoife, we are going to come to you. And then it'll be another Wisp, and then it'll be Tony up on deck.
So there is a wispy boy on Tony, right?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah. Who's looking
A little
hurt.
baby wispy boy.
Looking hurt.
Aoife is going to, first and foremost, give Tony a bardic inspiration die to bolster her dear, poor, frightened friend. And then she is going to... I don't think insulting these orbs of light is going to do anything. So she is going to begrudgingly take out her rapier and try to maneuver around Tony's still and statuesque body and give it a jab.
Yeah, all right. Oh no.
Natural one.
Oh good. Oh god.
Oh no.
It's,
We don't do it.
It's like trying to stab a firefly. Right, is the whole experience you have here, and it's embarrassing, and it's sad, and I think you maybe roll your ankle, and I think you take 1 point of damage. That's just like so embarrassingly bad. And it's dark, and it's hard, and there's all kinds of crap on the floor, but ow, damn.
You just hear her yell, "God damn it!" back under her breath.
And to add insult to injury, the wisp that you just tried to attack is going to attack you in return. So a 22 to hit. God, these things are rolling well. That's 13 max lightning damage on... Fuck! As you stumble and fall, and this thing blasts you with an electric bolt. Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Ow! Yeah, okay, so Tony... It is your turn. You are trapped in this fucking nightmare, but you can react now. You can take your turn. You are frightened, so you have disadvantage on attack rolls and stuff, and you can't move, but this wisp is still in range, and you can still try and hit it. Oh, are you muted?
Yes, sorry. We'll try our best to snap ourselves out of our little scaredy cat state and kill this little wispy ball.
Hell you.
We have 2 tries anyway, so why not?
Why not?
Hey?
With disadvantage, unfortunately.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So I should... Well, they both sucked, but the first one was a 13 to hit.
No, that will not hit. You pass through the tennis ball.
One more attempt. Okay. And okay, so 15.
Okay, 15 will hit.
Ah. Here we
Nice.
go. She's a shaking in her boots, but it swings anyway. So that's 11 damage.
Cool. And then half to 5 is enough. What does it look like when you disperse this little lightning creature?
I feel like it sounds like a small, tiny little clap as the lightning
Like
dissipates.
yeah.
So it's just kind of like a pop. It pops.
Cool. Amazing. Yeah, so there's this little pop and this thing goes out of existence. But like as soon as that little victory like psychs you up, like you're back in that fear, and she's going to kill you. She's going to kill you if you don't get out of here. You have to get out of here. She is going to kill you. It's just racing through your head. Make me that wisdom saving throw, please.
And I have that D8, don't I?
Yes.
Ooh, but you know
Indeed.
what? I done rolled a... Ooh, it might not be enough. Can I decide afterwards if I want to use that D8 or I have to use it?
What's your total with everything now?
16.
I'll say spend it because you're gonna get your temporary hit points equal to the number that you roll on the Bardic Inspiration die, so that'll get you a little bit of wiggle room in the health.
I will say also,
Well,
if it
that's
matters,
sexy.
you're making a wisdom saving throw now to resist the spell effect, and then you're about to make a save to see if you can end this effect. So you might want to save it to see if you can end it. This is whether or not you take damage this round.
Oh, I see. Okay, well then so 16 for the first one.
16 is enough. So with that, you succeed on this. So you manage to, what is it that fights through? You don't take the damage, the psychic damage that would have come from this. How do you get over this vision? What are you doing?
If the fear is I'm seeing my mother like scold me or something like that, I think a memory of me trying to make up for bad behavior arrives, where I come to my mom with some fresh picked flowers and I'm sorry, and I'm so sorry. I know I should have cleaned my room and, watered the garden, and I promise I'll do better. Please don't be mad at me. And she takes the flowers.
Yeah, so maybe it's like memories. Yeah, you're transposing your own mother into this, right? You're negating some of this horror and realizing, like, this isn't you. This isn't you. And you're able to fight.
I have a good relationship with my mother.
Yeah. Like, wait a minute. I'm not doomed to this terrible fucking story. And you push through that. And I really like that. So I'm going to give you advantage on this this save now to try and end this effect.
Aww.
So make me that wisdom save again.
Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. So 18 for the wisdom save.
Okay. And it is, you succeed as like you switch the image of this horrible shadow figure over you, and whoever's eyes you're looking through, like you are able to disconnect and realize this is not me. This is not me. People are good. People are good. And you push through it, and that glass, image around you that had you trapped, it fades away, and that scene ends for you. That moment of horror wasn't yours. It wasn't yours. And
she clutches her little lily brooch that her mom gave her.
Yeah. Good parenting can make so much of a difference. This is therapy. This is a therapy fight. And then on the other side, we have that last wisp that is coming in. So that one went for Rook before, right? So now this one is coming in for Lou. Zip! Only a 7 to hit you, though, so you were prepared for it this time, Lou. You're like, fuck, no! I'm tired of getting shocked.
Just in time. I know, I'm having a bad time up here. It's not a fun ride. I want to get off.
Yeah. And so for the last round here, so Gwen and Penny are continuing to read, and luckily they have not been interrupted. You all have been very effectively distracting the Shadow Lady between your startling propositions and your just general bring in the pain. So that is good. The wisp in front of them is gone. You do see that they continue to look worse and worse as they are saying this ritual, right? Like the blue is very apparent now in their face. Their lips have turned blue. And you hear like a cough that like racks out, like a racking, one of those really gross wet coughs comes from Penny. And there's this splattering sound as just like Scarlet hits the floor as she seems to be coughing up blood. And we're back to the top of the round. All right. Okay. So that we have survived now 2 rounds. So we are back up at the top of round 3. So we are starting off with a lair action once again. So here is what I'm gonna do, because Rook has been hitting the lady pretty hard. She's got some significant chunks, and also Lou. So there is a big blue flash that travels through the room, and all of you, I think, for a moment are forced to like squint your eyes and not look directly at it. And as your vision clears, you realize that one of the wisps is gone. So the one that was sitting on Rook has disappeared. And you see, like, the electricity that formed its body is, like, crackling now over the skin of this woman as you see her, like, flesh start to knit itself back together as this electricity seems to invigorate and heal her.
Oh.
Uh-oh. But one of the wisps is gone, so now there is just one sitting by you, Lou. The other two have been felled. So that was the lair action. So Lou, it is your turn to respond. So now you have a wisp on your right and a much, I mean, I wouldn't say good-looking lady in front of you, but she's there, more whole than she was before.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and real quick with my bonus action, I'm going to take my healing potion.
Nice.
That I have.
What is that ability that lets you do that? Is it called Always Prepared? You can use object as a bonus action.
So that is a bonus action. I don't know. I mean, generally, I think that we play that anybody can take a potion themselves, bonus action.
No, we don't.
Or do we not do that?
We've never done that.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize because I just healed you all so well last campaign that
you
it
didn't
was
even
never
have
necessary.
to use potions last game. But no, it is using an action is typically what you have to do for a potion or an item.
Then yes, I believe that is always prepared. No, that's my roll of 10 or lower. But yeah, it's part of my subclass that I can use an action, use an object as a bonus action for one of my cunning actions as a rogue.
Rad.
So I will do that. Okay, 4 and a 1, so that's 5, 6, 7 points.
Nice. You feel a little bit better.
The baby better. And then I'm going to try to remove that healing that was just done. And I'm going to go back in with my sonic blade and give her a stab.
Oh, la stab.
Okay, that's going to be a 15 to hit.
15 will hit. She doesn't appear to be wearing any kind of armor or anything, so it's actually been relatively easy to hit her.
Gotcha. Okay. All of these. Oh, okay. 12 plus 5 is 17 plus 4. Holy shit, I got 2 6s and a 5 on my sneak attack and a 4 on my dagger.
Ooh. Nice.
So 17, 21 points of thunder damage.
Ooh, ow. Ow. Yeah, so you absolutely blow through that healing that she just got with a big ol' ouchie. Yikes.
Yeah.
It's so loud by you.
Yeah, I have no chill.
Zero chill.
Lou, yeah, she hurt me real bad, and I am just fighting to stay alive on behalf of all of the homies.
Yeah. Tight. Yeah, cool.
And that is my turn.
Okay. Shit. All right, so she does not like that, and it is her turn now. So she is going to raise both of her hands, so like palms out, one towards Rook and one towards you, Lou, and you see like electricity starts to crackle on her gloved fingers, and she says, "It's pointless for you to have come here. You will not take the book. I will not let it leave. I will not let it hurt more people. It will die with me." And then, like lightning shooting from both of her palms towards each of you. She does some Sith Lord bullshit. So
that's exactly what I was thinking.
She's doing fucking force lightning at both of you. So here we go.
Oh.
All right. So a 15 to hit Rook. That won't hit, right?
That correct.
Okay. So Rook,
and she would have disadvantage at any rate, but
Rook throws herself then out of the way. Okay, I rolled, it wasn't lower. So, and then for Lou, that'll be a dirty 20. As you are being hit.
Bye, guys.
With this beam of lightning, don't forget you do have a ghost inside you that might be able to do something about this. 1, 2, 3,
What?
4 d8. So let me pull that out. Okay, 9, 17.
Fine, I'll heal you. You're cool. You won't die.
25 lightning damage. And as this like flash moves over you and just like your body is rocked with this light, you are blinded until the end of your next turn by this big old blast. Rook totally throws herself out of the
I'm
way.
going to
It's fine.
uncanny dodge that.
Okay.
So that I can survive.
Yeah.
I'm up, but I can't fucking see.
Ah! So you're knocked on your ass on the ground. No, you're not prone. But it hurt.
Yeah.
It hurt so much. Your eyeballs felt like they were going to burst out into jelly with like all that electric voltage just moving through you. Yeah. Neat.
Delightful.
Neat. Delight. Rook. We come to Rook. And then, Aoife, you'll be on deck because the wisp was exploded.
Yeah. So Rook, having deftly dodged out of the way of this lightning blast, is seeking to give the Lady of Shadows a bit of her own medicine as she cocks 2 more bolts ready to fire.
Pew pew!
And that's a 27 to hit.
Oh, God. Rook does so much better when Sage rolls. This is my gift to you.
Her arrows had absorbed.
Yeah.
Indeed. And as some of her arrows have absorbed some of the electricity that she had taken from one of the orbs that,
the
zaps out and
do nothing against this lady.
Okay. Alright, that's fine. Then that'll be 2, 7, 8, 12 damage.
Okay. Yeah. Great hit. Off. Yeah, you see the lightning kind of crackles uselessly and like goes into her body, almost like it's made of rubber. It just disperses.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. All right, so she'll take her second attack, and that looks like it's probably not going to hit. So we're going to spend our bardic inspiration that we gave. Oh wait, no, I haven't given her one.
Nope.
Did I give her one? No, I gave it to Tony.
Damn
it! No, that's only going to be
Which
a
I
13.
still
hit.
have.
A 13 will hit.
That's
That
right,
is
I was
actually
going
her...
to give Rook one next.
13 is the AC. Not high AC at all.
Nice. That is 5 additional damage.
Sorry, my phone was ringing in my disco groove. Excuse me. So 5 damage, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so 2 shots fired off in rapid succession make contact with this Lady of Shadow who's looking kind of fucked up. Honestly, after all that bullshit. Oh boy.
Nice.
Alright, anything else for Rook before we move to Aoife?
Nah, that will be her turn.
Alright, that's the business.
And on Aoife's turn.
Then we have Tony on deck.
Aoife's turn, we're going to go ahead and give Rook a bardic inspiration.
Uh-huh.
And then we're going to throw a level 3 cure wounds on dear Lou here.
Okay, so you're going to run up the 20
sweet.
feet?
Yes.
Okay. The other wisp is going to get an attack of opportunity if you do so.
That's fine.
Okay.
We'll eat it.
Zip! Well, only a 10 to hit you, so I don't think it was expecting that from you. So that goes away. Yep. You dodge.
Tiny little satyr baby gonna run up here? I don't think so.
No.
And as Aoife runs up to Lou and you see these ephemeral threads begin to weave back together, your zapped and searing flesh, you'll heal back 19.
Ooh! That's nice! Oh, it's nice to have a healer.
And
Ooh.
that will be...
You've...
Thank you.
We're doing our best. And
Oh.
that is Aoife's turn.
Okay. So then, Tony, we come back to you. You are no longer feared. You are not affected by what you saw before. You killed the will-o-wisp that was by you. So now you are just, there's these two women behind you who are looking miserable as they're pushing through this ritual, literally coughing blood, like turning blue, just behind you. And then everyone else is in a big tangle in the center of the room. What are you doing?
I really don't know. I don't know if I should leave their side and try and help take this thing down as fast as possible and just make my way back. Let's engage our little vampire spirit and try and do it real fast. We'll zoom in and out as best we can.
Cool. Okay. I like this. So you want to use that speed to basically get over to the lady, make an attack, and then come back here?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically like giving yourself a free dash.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
A misty step.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. What does it look like? Yeah. Do you turn into mist like a vampire? Or do you just run really fast? Do you like, what's your vibe?
I think it's just a fast run. She like zips out of existence for a second, appears right around the shadow lady, and suddenly her fangs are out. She looks a little bit angrier. The ears are pointier, the fingers, the claws are coming out. Everything's a little bit sharper. And we're gonna go for an attack.
Cool. I dig it. So, yeah, your tracker is now up at 2. So we've got 2 for Tony, 2 for Lou, and 3 for Aoife. Love it.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to use our claws and fangs. This is going to be like no weapons.
Okay, cool.
I don't remember what we decided would be
I think we said
our
a D8,
damage die for that.
A D8 for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said.
It was a D10 for the fangs.
Oh, D10 for the fangs.
Oh. Okay.
I'd give you a D8 for your claws.
I guess it should just be proficiency then. That's 17.
17 will hit. Her flesh is nice and corporeal. And she does not have resistances to non-magical damage. So that's been nice.
Shit.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I mean, Lou, your attacks have been doing full body.
That's plus. Where's my? 5 damage.
Okay. Yeah. So you like dig into her, and she is cold and feels dead, but not quite. It's very odd. She's not. Her body, and you can feel it because, right, like as you dig into her, like, and you're hypersensitive to the heart, right, in this state, and it's there. But it's so faint and strange. So this thing is alive in front of you, but almost like in stasis, if you had to say. It's it confuses your predator senses, for sure.
Definitely taste fractured.
Yes.
Well, let's take one more attack. Our final attack. Ooh, well, that was a natural one. Let's add our shit. But my bardic inspiration won't help there.
No, it's a natural one. So, so I think as you go and you like go in and dig, is it this with your claws or your fangs? This
probably would be with my claws since I had a nasty taste with the fangs the first time.
Yeah. So you reach in and like, you know, with the first one, you like grab a bunch of viscera and pull it out and you're feeling confident and you like go to smash back in. And despite the fact that you have this like lightning speed, right? You're here, her hand comes up just as fast as your own. And she like kind of grabs it like just as you were like about to like delve into her flesh. And she looks at you. She turns these like black eyes that seem to be these just like spiraling pools of just darkness, and she says, "Careful. Unleashing the monster is exactly what got me here." It's closer than you think. I need you to make a charisma saving throw for me, or check off another one of your monster bits as something in you stirs at this lady's voice. One predator to another, challenging you.
14?
14 is not going to do it. So as, like, something about her, it gets to you. It awakens whatever that beast is. And maybe it's that way, like, when an alpha dog, like, gets in, like, trapped in a space with another alpha. Like, that sudden flash of, like, fear and recognition comes over you. What is it exactly that awakens, like, another level of the monster in you?
Someone trying to compare themselves to me and trying to tell me what I can't do.
Oh, yeah, and she was belittling you.
Been there, done that.
Right? Yeah, she was so aggressive about it, right? Where she's like, oh, I know better. Like
no, I'm in control.
Yeah.
I'm the one. Yeah.
You are so much more powerful than her. Like, how dare she? She's like a shadow person with this, what the fuck? I think there's a physical change, too, that we see from Tony. Well, how do you, as you now are at 3 of your 3 boxes with that, so what do you look like?
Her fangs get bigger, first of all. It looks like all of her teeth are now a little bit sharp and fang-like, somewhat. The like, collagen in her skin goes away. She becomes a little bit more leathery and grayer.
Yeah, I think a little more beast-like, something, rubbery about your skin, and almost a little like bat-like. Very cool. So with that hike, that spike, she is challenging you, and she thinks she's fucking better than you. Do you still want to use your movement to go back and guard those 2 girls, or do you want to stand toe-to-toe with her?
No, I want to action surge, and
Hell
I'm going to take another...
Hell yeah.
Another action and try and attack her one more time with my fangs. My now engorged fangs.
Yeah. Engorged! Powerful word.
Oh. 15? Did that
15 will hit?
Then?
Hell yeah, it will.
Okay, good. That is 7 damage.
Okay. Yeah, so you, like, bite into her neck, and she... as you feel like a very slow, like, chug of arterial spray. It's like, again, like half the speed of like a normal human body should feel. But you do feel it's blood, and it's mortal blood, racing across your tongue. There's something wrong. There's something wrong, and you realize she's laughing. She's fucking laughing at you. While you were, like, destroying her neck. And it's just the manic, insane laugh of somebody who just knows. Okay. It's one of your attacks. You do have 2 attacks.
You gonna get your second attack in?
With your action surge, you get your
full
I can
use
attack.
My extra attack and an action surge?
Mm-hmm.
Then yes.
Yeah.
Then yes, please.
So if you take the attack action,
be,
now whenever you do that, you get 2 attacks.
Beautiful. That's going to be... What did I... Oh. 17 to hit.
Yes, the 17 will hit.
I was like, what did I roll with? And I was like, oh, I don't have any weapons. That's right.
You got natural weapons.
Another 7 damage.
Ooh, yeah. She's laughing and coughing blood and just going down. You can feel her body getting lighter as you are like draining the fluids from her, and she can't have a lot left in her, but she hasn't changed. And against your ear, she's whispering. She's like, "It feels so good, doesn't it? The darkness. It feels so good."
She's not wrong. Tony is not responding because she's like, yeah.
Yeah, and you're also drinking this person dry. Shit. So, you both would see that, Aoife and Lou. You're right the fuck there. And, I think even Rook, like, there's, like, a growling sound that comes out of Rook. Like, that doesn't seem to enjoy anything
Hackles
that's happening.
raised.
Yeah. Her big puffy hair gets so much, like, puffier as it stands on end. Woo. All right. Love that. Is that it for you,
now,
Tony?
am I able to... I think I can speed back, right? As my last thing, or would that check off? Would that be another monster move?
It is up to you. You use the point so you get to do whatever you want. So if you think reasonably in this situation, hackles raised, that Vampire Tony would want to retreat from her prey, you certainly can. I am not here to stop you.
That was the goal
This is the
initially.
narrative. Yeah.
That was the goal initially.
I think a lot
but she has
happened in
forced
that.
me to check another
Yeah.
box.
Yeah.
Yes, she made me check another box. I'm feeling very monstrous.
Yeah.
I guess I'll stay put.
And she's just fucking goading you on.
But that means, am I close to Aoife, and am I closer to Aoife and Lou now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Will
So
they
you all are
benefit?
right there, like in that knot, kind of surrounding her right now.
Okay, I'll take a defensive stance then, at least.
Okay. So you like retract your fangs from her neck and, you know, you remember you have a sword and like take a defensive stance. But
Pull the
oof.
shield.
Yeah, it's hard to shake that red haze, and she's just the way
Mhm.
she's looking at you is just fucking infuriating. Aoife, you're a student of character. Why don't you go ahead and make me an insight check as you observe this whole fucking bizarre interaction.
Okay. That is a 21.
Okay. This woman is pushing Tony. It's intentional. It is absolutely intentional, and you get this flash of insight. This woman wants to die. She does. And she is doing everything in her power to push. And maybe take somebody with her.
Drag
Maybe-
Tony down with her.
Yeah, as the, like, with whatever darkness she's going, she's for it. She knows this is the end, and she's gonna take someone with her.
Okay. We'll save a response for Tony on Eva's turn.
All right, that is Tony's turn. So that last wisp, who is still there, is going to do a zappy at Lou. You've been its target. You've been its snack. Just a snack.
Just looking for the juiciest
Ooh.
one, and here I am.
Oh, 20 again. God, these wisps are rolling fucking incredible. So that'll be 9 points of damage. This thing still on your butt, zapping you with this little lightning poke. And then you all are now very far away from Gwen and Penny. So as we come to their turn, and they're kind of obscured too behind that like large pylon in the center of the room where you all are now like stacked in this ring around her. You hear a scream come from the pair, and you're not sure which of them, but the flow of Latin that has been getting slowly weaker and weaker suddenly stops, and you hear, "Oh my God, oh God," like come from the two of them, and it doesn't start again.
Oh boy.
And then we are back up to the top. Moment of desperation. Okay. She is going to... Oh, she can't repeat layer actions, so she is going to... Yeah. So all of you are here, standing around, and there is the shimmering that happens once again as the glass does something very similar to what Aoife and Tony experienced before, as it shimmers strangely, and you all begin to see a vision. And it's the Shadow Lady, but as herself, as Penny. You can see her. She's normal. And this girl, again, Gwen, this girl you just keep seeing, and they're sitting at like a dinner table together across from each other, and it looks normal. It looks like a normal family dinner, and you hear snippets of this conversation as Penny says, I have to. It's not safe for me to stay as I am. You can't be here with what I am. So I'm going to find a way. I in fact I have. I found a way to change. And you see that Gwen is not having any of this. She's shaking her head no, and like Penny reaches out a hand and like grabs her across the table, and you feel that pain of like it's too hard. Like the way she grabs you is too hard. It's strange. She's looking at you with some strange expression. She says, I'm going to change. It's going to be different. This is the only way. This is the only way. And I need you all to make wisdom saving throws for me.
I use my bardic inspiration.
Yeah. This is gonna be Rook
What?
to...
Me too.
Oh, Rook can't be frightened by this, so Rook is good.
Yeah, a 17.
Okay. Success.
Do I get
16?
That is a
You
success.
also got 16.
All right.
You said wisdom, right?
Yeah. So none of you are drawn into this this image. This like I have to change. I have to change. And again, it moves over you, and that feeling as you all are cast again in that role of Gwen, and you're like, no, stop. Why are you doing this? Stop. But it ends. It ends. It fades away. And you're back in that fight. Sorry, what was that, Katie? Something about your inspiration?
Yeah, since I used Aoife's inspiration on a saving throw, I get to add the temporary hit points.
Oh, hell yeah.
So the number you roll on the die.
Damn, that's sweet. That's
Real
sweet.
nice.
Good to have a bard. All those boosts.
Honestly.
Okay. All right, yeah, so that lair action moves over you all, and you all are immune. You've seen so much. This one wasn't gonna get you. Lou, we now come to you.
So Lou is utterly terrified at this point. She's been blinded and she's heard that scream, and she knows now that Aoife is up in the thick of it as she felt that healing magic. So I think as an act of desperation, she's going to check off another box. And before, she'd been too embarrassed to say anything to these other spirits that had been watching them after she'd been kind of teased for it. But with this added level of danger, I think that she just calls out to them and is like, I can't let anybody else get hurt. I need you to restrain this woman. I can't see. I don't know what else to do. And would like to call them to raise up through the floor and grab onto her with these poltergeist hands, keeping her steady.
Cool.
Yeah. Fuck
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so you don't see it because you are blinded, but you feel them. As soon as you call for them, you tap into that undercurrent of pain and rage that has been just rampant through this place, and you know they're there. Hundreds of them are there by you. And you sense fear and doubt. What do you say to push them through that? They're so afraid of this lady. How do you push them?
Lou, just like in this very level-headed, calm tone that her mother has always used with her when she's just been in just an inconsolable state before, just says, I know that it's hard. I know that it's scary. But you just have to give this one last push, and we'll be in this together, and we can help each other. Just try.
Yeah, and your words echo and into that vacuum, that void of sorrow. And you worry for a moment that nothing is going to happen. But then they start to move. And you feel them. It's like just a trickle at first, and then a wave of these souls that have been trapped here in this world, trapped alongside Penny, forced to play these like roles in this story, and they're so angry and so tired. Too tired and too ready for it to be done to be afraid anymore. And at your stirring, they crash over in a wave, and none of you can see this, but they surround this woman, this shadow lady, and they hold her taut. And then Tony and Aoife, you can see her arms like spread out by her as if somebody is holding like her left and her right and kind of like forcing her down like into a kneeling position, as just like some great invisible weight has come over her, and her eyes are not what you would expect in this. They're flat and they're cold, and her expression is kind of serene. And she nods just a little bit to you, Tony, specifically. And she kind of moves her chin to the side, like exposing the other side of her neck. Do you want to take the killing blow?
Mm-hmm. Yes, please. Her sword is ready.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
She's really just presenting it.
She is. And she cannot seem to move. Whatever this force is, you don't understand it, but she cannot move. And she seems to know this is the end. And she's looking at you. Predator to predator.
Yeah. All right. Sword it is. We're gonna drive it straight through her chest.
Yeah. And you do, and there's the like the gasp of someone like as their whole body is racked with that moment of pain. And like the slow creep again of like sluggish blood that isn't quite a full life. Like stains, the black clothing she's wearing and drips out onto the ground. And her body starts to shake, and she looks up at you, and she mouths something at you. There's like this bubble of blood that comes up, and you could have to like lean in a little, and she says, I won. You won't forget me. And like this dribble just of more of this blood like pours down her chin, and she falls forward. And there is a flash of lightning from up above once again, and the pylons go suddenly very, very dark, as like there's zip, 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 like these powering down sounds, as electricity stops flowing through them all. And you realize it's very quiet. There's no chanting, there's no screaming, there's nothing coming from those other two. That wisp that was beside you, Lou, is gone. And there's just this, like, body that's fallen across your sword, Tony.
Tony's going to carefully put her arm around the body and, like, lay it down as she pulls her sword out.
It seems weak. As you touch this woman, you realize, like, how fragile, like, how skin and bone she must be under, like, all these thick layers of clothing she was wearing. It's, like, emaciated and barely hanging on to life. It probably occurs to you, like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like a fair fight. As you lay her down, she made you feel so much. There's just a feeling that something is wrong. What are the other two of you doing? Oh yeah, go for it.
I wanted to say before she gives her final breath or anything, I want to see if I can get an answer out of her. Why did you want this? Why is death better than reuniting with all your former selves?
And I think you have her on the floor, you've pulled out the sword, and she kind of coughs again, like this rivet of scarlet comes out of her mouth, and she says, "It was the only way. You understand? When you've been what we are, you can never go back. When you know what you're capable of, you can never go back. Take me to them. I can feel them. Take me to them."
Tony looks back at the other two. What did they look like?
This is your first time kind of looking over at them. They are laying on the floor, collapsed.
She'll carry the dying shadow lady over to the other two and lay her down next to them.
And that roll of thunder peels up from above, and there's a moment of dark. And those three bodies on the floor in that light become one. And you see Penny, the same one from your dreams. The one who, if she weren't covered in blood and in this dark place, would look beautiful and healthy and normal. And she's got this dull expression on her face as she's looking around, and she starts looking, kind of raising a hand gently out and making a beckoning gesture to you all.
Head over, lean in.
Flat out over.
You did it. Brought an end.
What? We can't hear you.
She says, "You did it. You brought an end to the story. I owe you a favor, but name it quickly. I feel it coming. Finally."
Tony, you need that codex.
Need to take the codex out of here. And the three of us must return.
Hear me out.
Lou's sobbing and just looks over horrified.
Hold on.
What if we have seen what this book has done to someone? What if we ask her to take on the debt that you owe her, Tony, and then we would no longer be beholden to bring in the book?
I don't.
Pass that debt on.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how that works.
Lou's just wiping tears off her cheeks, and she's like, is that even a thing? What?
I would say that's very interesting, and I think how that would work, I think, yeah, as a favor you could ask somebody to take on another favor, but it would be one Because it's one big favor, which would mean Tony would still owe a second one. So it might be hard to work out in the math.
A second big
still,
favor?
Yeah.
Tony still owes 2, and we're just covering for 1 right now with the book.
I think I really like that. I think that's super clever, but I think it could only get 1, and she would just turn right the fuck back around.
Yeah.
Like,
rewind.
Oh.
Never mind. I forgot. All right.
Sure. Forget about it. But
never mind.
I mean, it's a good point because, like, a part of me thought, like, what if she destroys the codex? And we're like, sorry, we couldn't get it to you. Like, it doesn't exist anymore.
I don't think she gonna give a fuck. I think you're just gonna end up dead.
Well, I guess I'm just asking for a ride out of here then with the codex.
The book. Are you sure? She coughs like, nothing good will come from it.
I believe you, but there are much higher powers that are commanding me to do this.
She like kind of nods, and she sees her head lolls a bit, and she raises like a hand up towards you just to like take your hand.
I give it to her.
And she holds it, and it's very weak in her grip, and she just says, just promise me if you take the book, the ones you love, hold them close and tell them while you still Gwen. And she reaches up to your face and like touches it, like pats it on the cheek. She's like, Gwen, I love you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. She slips away. And as Penny dies, the world begins to crumble. Because without the Archfey, the dwelling doesn't last. So this like weird castle room that you're in and everything, you hear the shattering of like glass and stone as it all begins to just fall to pieces. And around you, it goes black and it's confusing and dark, and a lot of different feelings move over you, and then you're awake again. And it's still dark wherever you land, but there's like mud under your hands and the smell of outside, and all of you feel different. Like something in your bodies has changed, like something has been removed. Like that weird, monstrous thing is gone from within you. And you're in the mud of a little center square with like this cute little wishing well in the center. And it takes you a minute to realize, like, you're back in Storyville. That little changeling town. The mud fresh from all of the rain that is no longer pouring down, but must have just stopped. And Tony, as you land and you get like the lay of the land, you hear like a splattering sound as something heavy lands by you in the mud. And you see a book, a very thick book bound in very simple black leather, with no title, no markings on it, but is laying there in the mud beside you. And as you all kind of get your bearings and sit up, you realize there are other people there with you, just like about 100 or so people kind of thrown out like in this town square, and they're all like sitting up, looking at each other, looking around, confused as hell. What the hell is going on?
Hello, everybody. Do we have some space?
Yeah, you have some space if you're, all of you. I think it's that, like, it's almost like all of these people just woke up, right, from dream, and you all are, so yeah, you absolutely all have a moment in the confusion if you want to chat real quick right now.
Aoife says, Penny sends her regards.
You say that out, and people are like, you know, gripping their heads and like, Penny, where, what? As these people thrown out of this dwelling that just collapsed. They've been there for 100 years, maybe more. Now we're back, and you start to see, like, as all of you have landed there, obviously, like, changelings from the village start to, like, come out of their houses and stuff, and it becomes very, like, weird scene as people are shifting through, and yeah, so do you all want to say anything to each other before these changelings, clearly, because people are going to recognize you and be like, what the fuck happened, and walk up to you?
Yeah, Tony just wasn't. I say we get the fuck out of here sooner rather than later. I don't want to spend any time trying to get these people back on their feet personally.
Lou is just still sitting in the mud, looking a fucking mess, and she's like, but there's, I mean, I still have so many fucking questions about this. Where's her daughter? She wasn't, maybe they can answer. You're just gonna, and she just seems like really like disoriented and flustered.
I don't think they're gonna know.
At the very least, I need to collect all the letters that they've all written for me to deliver. But yeah, I say we head off sooner than later.
You do still have rented rooms. I mean, if it is that, it doesn't look like too much has changed, so maybe you could hide there for a bit or something. But yeah, this is going to be a big old fucking mess. There's like 100 people now here in a town of like 100 people, so... And there's going to be a lot of questions.
I think Tony's just gonna play dumb like everyone else in this crowd. Like, whoa, what happened?
Whoa,
what a crazy dream,
man!
I gotta take a nap. I'll see you guys later. And like, you know, goes to the inn and like tries to play it cool. I don't have this book on me or nothing. And then goes and hides.
Okay. Yeah, so you want to, like, make your way, creep back to the inn to go hide and get the letters and get out of town as fast as possible?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, so you get up quickly and take advantage of the situation where everybody's like, what? And nobody's, like, recognized you or put it together. You see a couple, like, changelings that you recognize from before, but, like, they just give you a passing glance as, like, clearly the emergency of all of these people is more important. So you just turn corners through the streets and make your way back to the Pendragon Inn. And as you turn that final corner, there is a figure that is kind of heading towards you. And this person is like the only one who hasn't been like running directly towards this scene so far, wearing this like deep black kind of hood. And they run towards you all, and as you're like, you know, like, oh, avoiding them, going in the door, you hear a familiar voice. I'm sorry, could you just answer one thing for me? This figure says.
Sure. I think we have 1 second.
Does this mean she's dead? Is Penny dead? Everyone is back. Does that mean she's dead?
It does.
And she drops the hood. And you can see her for the first time. This girl with long black hair and these like weird kind of white patches of feathers on her skin. And you see the cloak is like shaped over something bulky, like wings or something from her back. She looks at you and says, You know, I tried, but she wouldn't let me stay. And I couldn't get back. She wouldn't let me back in.
Gwen, you must be Gwen, right?
Yeah.
Where did you go? Why did she think you were dead?
She thought I was dead? I she cast me out. I had to go. I couldn't get back to her, and I've waited all this time, and
I believe she made herself believe that you're dead. But either way, she was mourning your loss. For she did a lot in the name of her love for you. And I don't think you'd be served to know the extent of it. But she rests now, peaceful and whole.
I loved her just the way she was, you know. Just the way she was.
We saw that when we were there, even if she didn't.
Thank you for letting me know. I won't bug you anymore.
Oh, it's not a bother. We do need to be heading out soon, but if you need anything while we're still here for a short time, we'll be at the inn.
Thanks.
I'm sure that there are a lot of other people in this town who would love to see you.
I'll do that. Okay. She waves a hand and quickly disappears, clearly heading off somewhere with her answers. So she was the only person who bothered you. You all can make your way back into the, step into the Pendragon, which is, like, empty at this point. There's no one else inside. And you can see that there is, like, a couple of, like, a big collection box that seems to have been put on the bar that is just stuffed full of, like, different letters and different script and handwriting and stuff. So clearly people have been compiling these letters for you here. So if you want, you can absolutely just take these and take the money and run at this point. Because even Oslo is probably out in the streets, you know, dealing with, like, how are we going to feed and house and, like, care for all of these people that just showed up.
Let's do it. Let's get back to Chicken Hut.
Yeah. So in terms of options, you do not have a lot of time. I will say you're probably within like 24 hours or so of when you need to be back to Hecate. So you do have a fairy ring that you could use to break and like teleport directly to her and then back. Or you could probably take the Chicken Hut and be, you know, a couple hours.
I think we should probably save the ring since we have another favor we may need to turn in at some point.
True.
And if we have 24 hours still, we can still get in the sleep and still head over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Fairy Mommy likes us. She'll probably give us another ring.
She do.
I don't want her to give us another favor. I would not like to.
Favorite. This was a freebie. She gave you the fairy ring as a freebie.
Yeah, that one was.
Yeah.
But the next one, who fucking knows?
Who fucking knows? That's true.
And I don't want to be a self.
How much time do we got to get back? We had a time limit.
You only have like 24 hours or so.
But she said that the chicken hut would take a few hours, so we have plenty of time to get back with
So you
chicken
might
hut.
have to deal with some bullshit on the island. True, because the fairy ring will take you right the fuck there. Last time you had to go the long way, and you met a cool statue, and were stalked by even cooler statues, and you know.
True.
Whatever. We can use the fairy ring, but we should just be really cautious about accepting another. We need to make it very plain that it would not be a favor on her behalf if she were to give it to us.
I think with you, Lou, we'll be fine.
Thank you.
So,
All right.
Ring or house?
Seems we're using the ring.
All right. So you all circle up, and like you saw Rook do back in episode 2 or 3, you know, you take the ring, and as you snap it, you instantly find yourself in that familiar place, the glass garden. This like abandoned tea party around this this glass dome in the center. And you appear directly outside of the dome. And you can hear the sounds of laughter and music coming from inside.
After you, Tony.
Don't mind if I do. Struts on in, holding the book.
Yeah. So you step on in, and yeah, there's like a little casual soiree that seems to be happening here as you see the three sisters, you know, their dusty rose skin, talking with a variety of strange beings that you haven't really seen before, but they're all clearly like fae, you know, these amalgamation of like trees and people and beasts, and you see this like one fox-headed gentleman in like a very dapper hat and like cape talking to one of the sisters who turns as you step in, and as she looks at you, makes eye contact, you know it's Hecate. She kind of glides over, draped in a see-through veil of like midnight blue, and she says, "Oh, you actually did it in the time limit? Well, that's a mixed bag of happy and sad, isn't it? I'll give it here. That's it, right?
One big favor off the books?
Yes. Only one left. For now."
After giving like a big look of like, all right, what the fuck does that mean to the other two? She like drops the book into Hecate's hands.
Delightful. And she looks at it, she just gives it a glance, and kind of looks at someone else in the room, who like runs over. You see it's like kind of a hulking, like troll like individual, and she says, "Put this with my things." Well, you can go. I'm having a party. We're very busy. Little shoot gesture.
Toodaloo, motherfucker. Lou just immediately turns around and is like out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, as you're waiting, she's like, "Is there something else?" She looks at you, Tony.
No. I'm glad this is over. And I'll walk away.
Yeah. After that very short and like curt ejection, and you just handed off this book that just destroyed lives, you're kicked out of this little party, and you're back outside, and you can use the power of the ring to beam back exactly to where you were. The whole thing's over in like a minute. And the book is gone.
Sounds appealing to me.
Yeah.
Ring power?
Yeah, let's get out of here. I've never been around anyone who makes me feel like nothing more than her.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So you beam back to where you were, and Rook hasn't said anything this whole time, but she looks deeply troubled by it all. But she's playing it close to the vest. So you get back, and she says, "All right. Are we going back to Coven or what?"
It's up to you all. I don't think that we have any other business here if we are not wanting to deal with all of that. And she like looks back at the town.
I don't even know how to start with all of that. So yeah, my vote is get the hell out of here. Especially, I mean, if
Very
there's all
least,
these changelings here alone now without an archfey protecting them, yeah, I don't think we should stick around long.
There's nothing we can do for all of them. It just seems like I don't know. I feel dirty giving that woman that book, and I feel dirtier leaving these people here and not trying to do anything when they're just bait for some asshole to come destroy.
Rook looks at you and kind of like she's like shrugging, like we did a job and it's done. I don't.
Yeah, those people have been surviving this long on their own so far. I think they'll be okay.
I mean, there's nothing else we can do, no matter how we feel, right?
I guess. Well, let's just go leave them all behind. Job done, right? And Lou turns around and starts walking towards the chicken hut.
Wow, okay, Lou, you can stay if you'd like to stay.
She bites her lip and is like, maybe I should because maybe they would appreciate me more than you and Rook do.
Rook lets out like a. It's gonna always be this way. This is how Fae are with mortals, right? They don't care. And if you care too much, you're just gonna get your heart broken. So you can make it personal if you fucking want to, Lou, but you're never gonna last if you do. It sucks. They all suck. That's why we kill them. They're all bad, but we are gonna deal with the worst. And we lost today, but you know what? We might do better tomorrow. So you can pout and be a baby if you want, but I need a fucking drink and I'm gonna go do that. So, whatever. I'm not here to fucking make friends.
And we already know we're not in an easy position. Oh, me personally still owing favors. So if that's starting to get to you, then maybe it is best you don't come with us.
Okay, then I won't.
Fine. Fine, let's see how long you make it as a mortal in this fucking place. Because it's real fucked up, Lou. It's real fucked up here. So fine, you don't want to get the fuck out of here. You want to stay here? You want to become one of them? Fine. That's fucking fine. Throw away your mortality. Throw away all that good shit. That's fine.
Well,
Great.
I'll tell you what, Rook. at least I won't end up like you, fucking cold and closed off because somebody hurt you. I'm going to be better than that. Okay?
Yeah.
If this is my life now, then I'll be happy to spend it with these good people who haven't done anything other than be fucked over. That's the kind of people that I want to protect. That's how I was raised.
Yeah. Because the rest of us are doing so fucking well. No one else here has been fucked over by the Fae, right? You're the only one who fucking gets it. Yeah, for sure. I
I don't
understand.
give a fuck about the Fae. I went ahead and I did this thing that didn't sit right with me because I wanted to help you guys. We're all supposed to be friends. We're all supposed to be a team. We're working together. We started in this horrible situation because of some motherfucker whistler. Okay, great. So I did that and I was with you and I helped you against my better judgment. And I sat there and I listened to all of your guys' opinions on, oh, well, this is just what we have to do because this is our job. Well, it's not right. And I don't want to keep doing that. And if that's what you guys want to do, I don't want to keep traveling with you.
Fine. Well, I think I'm done here. Tony, Eva, you coming?
Tony's looking at Eva. See how she feels.
Oh my god, Aoife's face, it's like your parents just said, we're getting a divorce.
We're getting a divorce and it's your fault. No.
Yeah, and we never should have had kids because the reason. And she looks so unbelievably torn. And she's looking as Lou and as Rooker, going with their back and forth. And Aoife generally starts to slide over towards Lou's side. She's clutching this huge letterbox in her arms. It's just right underneath her eyes. All these letters are sticking out from the edges of all these hand scrawled notes from all these people who are just behind the walls and trying to rebuild their lives with all these new people who've suddenly been dropped on them. She looks back towards Storyville. And she looks over at each and every one of you. And she says, look, we're all tired. We've all just been through so much. We've been changed. We've seen the worst sides of each other. We just killed a woman who may have wanted an end, but you're right, it's still not right. Everything we've done for this book that's going to be used for gods know what. But what got us through that is that we were together. We fought together. We worked together. And Lou, you're right. I'm with you. If we don't have something that guides us, some moral compass, some idea of doing something for, just beyond making our means, then what's the point of doing anything if you don't stand for nothing? She just looks so tired and so defeated and so small. She slumps her shoulders. She wipes some tears from underneath her eyes. She says, Lou, if you really want to stay, then I'll stay with you. But I say we make big decisions like this after we've had a chance to regroup. Because there's no point in making a hectic, huge decision now while we're all frazzled.
Rook looks away, not meeting anybody's gaze when you say that.
Because, I want to go home too. I want to see my family again.
I will come back with you guys temporarily to figure out arrangements, but I'm not letting this go. And Aoife, I don't want you to stay here with me. And it's not because I don't want you around, but you're so young and you have so much ahead of you, and you shouldn't get stuck here. So we'll go back for now, and I will figure out what I'm going to do. But you need to go home.
Fine, let's just get some fucking sleep. And Rourke starts walking off towards the hut.
Aoife will kind of wait and just walk in step with Lou. And we'll look at Tony kind of bashfully.
Tony will wink at you and give you like a soft smile. And will walk behind everyone.
So with nerves frayed and a lot has just happened, you all make your way back to the hut, at least to sleep for now, and see where the hell you go from here in the morning. But before the episode ends proper, we've got to do a dream. So it's a long night, I think. You all managed to make it back to your beds, and some of you are probably tortured by whatever happened and what you've seen and experienced. But eventually you find sleep. It's been so much. You're so exhausted. Sleep takes you eventually. And Aoife, it isn't long before, your head hits the pillow that you find yourself awake. You know it's a dream. It's happened to you so many times now. You know it's a dream. You're sitting in the Pendragon Inn, where you just were, but all the lights are, all the lanterns are lit. And Oslo, you see him behind the bar, and it's full. There are customers. Everyone seems happy, like they're having a good time, like the troubles have finally passed, is the feeling you get as you're sitting there with a mug of honeyed mead that's getting low, and you hear like the jingle of a bell, and your attention is pulled up as you see somebody familiar walk into the room. This dragon-headed figure wearing this like very, regal looking robe, who kind of looks around and like spots you and waves from across the bar and gives you a symbol like, do you need another drink? Like from across.
And she lifts her cup and she beckons over with a wave.
Yeah. So he goes up to Oslo and says two, and Oslo nods in greeting, and he comes and sits down across from you, on the wooden stalls, the little booths, and he looks at you for a moment, and it's weird because this is your first like good time like really just seeing him in a casual setting, and something about him feels different. It feels a little bit more real, if that makes any sense. It's like every time you've seen him, it's gotten realer and realer. And he says, so you weren't able to save her, huh?
And looking down at the bottom of her cup that's empty, she stares deeply into the end of it. And she shakes her head a bit, and she looks back up at him. And she says, "No, we couldn't save her. But I'll always save her memory. And I know she'll be saved in the minds of Gwen and all the others that she's touched over the course of her life. And that itself is a bit of saving.
And,
Tell me.
Oh, your thought is interrupted as like Oslo comes and
Mhm.
pours, both of your mugs up, and he's like, "Oh, thanks. I'm sorry, what?"
What should I call you? You're from the sleeping court, right?
He smiles. I what would you like to call me? I've never had a name.
And she looks so surprised and taken aback, and she's like, has no idea how to answer. And she's trying to rifle through her mind to try and think of something good, something worthy of this very regal and very majestic and interesting and unique person in front of her. And she says, and she kind of laughs a little bit, and she says, "Oh, like the cats. That's why they're powerful, right? Because they don't have names." She kind of giggles to herself, and she says, "How about Felix?"
I like it. Felix. And he thinks about it and like takes a long like drink from the mead cup. Yeah, it wasn't your fault, She was just another casualty of this war. The battle to exist.
It's a tragedy that so many are claimed, that we all do such desperate things and hurt each other, when really we've no right to. But why are you here? Why are you in my dreams? I dare to think there's anything about me that's special.
He smiles like with a secret smile and seems to like nod, as in like a gesture of you can't possibly understand. And he says, "I think that if only we could connect and really hear each other, maybe then we wouldn't have to do this alone. It's a terrible burden," he says. He like kind of leans in and is whispering to you. "From the moment we're born, we're part of a fight that we never asked for." I suppose who I am, what I am, is a bridge. He kind of shrugs like, "That's what I've got." And
Aoife,
oh, go for it.
I was gonna say Aoife takes a long and pensive sip from her mug and slurps it down, and she says, and she kind of gives a tap onto the bar, and you hear a clink of a metal ring that sounds, and she says, "Remember the name, right?" She kind of smiles and looks at him.
Names are important. For what it's worth, I will watch over them. You can tell your friend that this place kind of like indicates the inn around you. It's the least I can do for her.
She looks comforted by that. She looks relieved.
Well, I have to be going, but steel yourself, young dreamer. Both your world and mine are about to change. And even I don't know which way the wind is going to blow. And he makes a gesture as if he would have a hat, like that kind of hand to forehead to chest, and like sort of bows. And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out some gold coins. This isn't a Fae thing, but this is part of your dream, right? It's making sense as he puts down the gold for a tip.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of waves to you and disappears. And with that, we are going to end our episode, and we are ending Arc 1. We are ending the spring arc of our favorite campaign. We have done it. Oh, man. How are we all doing, kids?
Good.
Good.
But terrible.
Spicy, but good.
I like it. I love that. I love this, like, finale drama vibes. I don't know how we're going to untangle it, but I'm really excited to figure it out. It's going to be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. Yeah, that was a slingshot. That was a slingshot of feelings.
Yeah, I loved seeing your face the whole time, Sage.
You're
like,
oh shit. We don't quite have the power of friendship to get us through everything. We still new, kids. It's only been like 3 weeks.
It's like when you go to camp and you're like, these bitches are my best friends.
They're my best friends.
We've
right
been
or
through
dies.
it.
Yeah.
And then you guys go home and you're like, it's 2 years later.
What did I do? Yes. Fantastic. Yeah, so this is the end of our spring arc, which means we are going to be moving into summer. And I will say summer is going to be... Yeah, this was good. Spring was really about setting up. We haven't really seen the wilds, that world of the campaign guide. I feel like we've got a real good sense of the Fae and the fucking struggles and the different types of Fae that we have going on here. So we're going to be spending a lot more time in the mortal realm for summer as things get hot and heavy because it's summer. So I'm excited.
Whistler gonna find us.
Well, and who knows what's gonna happen with that book, man. I don't even know.
I will lose sleep over it.
No, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Out of sight, out of mind, baby.
Yeah. Not my problem.
Not my chair, not my problem.
Not my book, not my problem. Exactly. Cool. Felix, cool name, by the way. I'm writing that down right now before I forget.
No.
I love it. Okay, cool. Well, yeah. Thank you, everybody, so much for sticking around for an extra long, spicy episode. I hope you enjoyed the finale. I hope you found it interesting, even if you didn't enjoy it. And we'll see. We'll see what's next in store for our heroes. Clearly, there's some issues we got to work out, so that's gonna be good. But before we go, I just like to say, again, thank you for being here. If you are watching, please do make sure to subscribe, do the thing, recommend the video. If you're listening, please do consider leaving, some stars, some hearts, leaving us a rating and review. Your word of mouth is the primary way, pretty much the only way we grow the show. So by telling people that you're here, that you love it, that's the best way to grow our audience. So thank you. Make sure to follow us on social media everywhere at Venture Maidens, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Do the thing. If you want, you can join our Discord server, which is a very lovely, wholesome place to be. It is open to everyone. We have a lot of cool channels where we talk about not only spoilers about this episode or, campaign. We have like D&D corner stuff. We also have a grade of pet photos and cooking stuff and crafting and all that beautiful, wholesome shit. So we'd love to see you in there if you want to stop on by. And of course, if you really like the show, we always do appreciate if you would consider donating to us on Patreon. Patreon is a really great website where you can support the creators you love by donating monthly. It is our #1 and only source of income. So those of you who choose to donate, even as little as $1 a month, it really makes a huge difference for us being able to continue creating this content and doing cool stuff like making campaign guides and such. So thank you. Yeah, we always like to take some time at the end of our show to thank our donors at the highest tiers. So our $25 and up donors. So let's get that sweet, sweet list up and thank some people.
It's in the Zoom chat.
Is it in the Zoom? Oh, I scrolled down by it. Whoops. It's okay. Scrolling up. My eyes hurt from crying.
You cried a lot, girl.
I know. I just can't not do it. I cry at like pet commercials too, so don't feel too bad, everyone. This isn't like hardcore acting. This is just I feel for imaginary people too hard. Okay. Thank you so much, Cody Becker at Cody Rolls Horror on Twitter.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, Curry.
Thank you, Muffin at the one on Drury Lane.
Thank you so much, Nissa McKinnon.
Thank you, Ritual113 from our Discord server.
And our Farrah's drinking mate tier. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Big shout out to Mark Elias.
I have no idea where I am. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thank you, Fable.
Thank you, Tony, my homie.
Thank you, Sheepus Gnome.
Thank you so much, Ben, and aka Flower Crown Gaming. I've done it. I've spent it all. I did all the feelings. I'm
spent.
I'm done now. I did a finale. Do a
You
praise.
did a great job.
Thank you. Oh gosh, thank you all so much for being here. We are going to be back in 2 weeks with another live streamed episode, and of course, you can catch our episodes everywhere in podcast form on alternating Sundays. But until next time, I have been your Dungeon Master, Celeste Konowich.
Hi, I'm Katie, and I have played your Drow Rogue, Lavery-Saf.
I'm Nassim. I played your half-orc fighter, Tony Silvertail.
And I'm your trying to bridge together our friends bard, Aoife Flannery.
Ooh, Mom and Dad are fighting. Will we be divorced in Arc 2? I don't know. We'll see. But until then, everybody, venture away! Venture away, everybody! Thanks so much for that!